is we'll receive to start the game. We ask that all please stand for the playing of the national anthem. We ask that gentlemen please remove your caps.
To speak for the Rockets, this is the season that is going to change everything, or so they think. They come into the season ranked number 5. They're number 6 now. But wow, you can feel the excitement building.
You can. The Rockets coming off an impressive 5-2 season just a year ago, and expectations are even higher this year. And should be a great matchup, the third ever between these two rivals. Remember, Wright State won the opener 2 years ago here at the Glass Bowl. Last year, Toledo got their revenge. This is the rubber game of the match, so to speak.
We're going to pause as they honor our country with the playing of the national anthem. Dean Jackson along with Scoop Miller. And Scoop, this is the season opener for the Rockets, but they're already 2-0 because of a pair of forfeits. We talked about this on the podcast that we do. Do the forfeits benefit the team? Do they get them off track? Or is it a case of making them want it even more?
Well, you know what? It depends who's coaching. But with Toledo, I think it's a huge benefit because I think Coach Jamie Young and the staff, they use that as a couple extra weeks of preparation. They're able to clean things up. They had a scrimmage a week ago here Sunday night at the Glass Bowl. They've got a lot of new guys mixed with some veterans. So they kind of got the rust off, I think, last Saturday night. But these guys have been chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get this season kicked off.
It's interesting you should say that. I was talking with Dylan Brown, the team president, also a linebacker for this squad. He says, we only get 3 weeks before the season starts. We have guys that we don't even know. We got to get our system put in. We got to get these guys finding the right spots. They got 2 extra weeks.
Yeah, that's huge, especially in club football where you got a huge turnover. You're not going to have a lot of guys that have played together 3 and 4 years. So I think that extra preparation time, and credit this Toledo club football staff. I thought they did an excellent job of really keeping things focused, and they used that time to get a little bit prepared for Wright State. As we mentioned, all time Toledo 8-2 here at the Glass Bowl. One of those 2 losses was to the Wright State Raiders. So again, Toledo looking for redemption here tonight.
Set to kick it away. Zokiel Galvin for the Wright State Raiders. One of the men back to receive for the Rockets, Reggie Byars. And we're about ready to get this one going. Wright State suffered an excruciating loss, 48-0. But as we look at that score, Scoop, that's a little deceiving.
Well, no doubt about it. Most teams are putting up over 50 points a game Ohio State putting up over 50 points a game against teams. They've outscored opponents this year alone 117-0. So really,
0.
You keep it underneath the 50 there, you're doing some pretty good things.
And they have some offensive firepower. University of Toledo certainly closer to Ohio State than Wright State is. But you play the game. Toledo looking to get their first official win. Wright State, 0-1 on the season. And Ohio State, they're already 3-0 on the season. They got a forfeit yesterday. So now they're 2-0 in the conference.
Well, remember, Ohio State's been to the last 3 national championship games. So that's kind of the program I think most schools are shooting for. But this Toledo program, I think, is one a lot of schools try to emulate. In fact, they're only in their 3rd season of club football. Came into the preseason ranked number 5 in the nation.
Of course, the playoffs will be played here at the Glass Bowl in November. The Final Four, each of the conference champions, will be invited here. And that is what University of Toledo is gunning for. They got that showdown, the November 5th game, circled in red. The next regular season game for Ohio State. They've got some club football opponents. They've got some junior varsity from smaller divisions of football, NCAA division football. But if for now Ohio State, they've got a few weeks away from NCFA football. And here comes the kick. Kind of a short kick will be fielded at about the 25. A little bit of confusion over who was going to get it. Diving ahead to the 35. Not really the most exciting run back, but whatever it takes. Tariq Hicks brings it out, and Toledo gets it started in pretty decent field position.
Yeah, Hicks is going to give them a nice starting position. Ball resting on the 38-yard line of the Rockets. But Hicks, one of many local products from Start High School. Right now the Rockets will get their initial possession, and this is the Rocket team that wanted the football on the coin toss. They want to kind of set the tempo early. They want to be known as that explosive team, that aggressive team. Look for them to go upstairs early and often.
It certainly looks that way right now. Motter, three-step drop, looks over the middle, complete to Mensah. Daniel Mensah near the first down marker, right over the gut. No doubt about them. They came out determined to pass on that play.
Yeah, look at it right here. This is going to be a quick three-step drop. That's something we're going to see a lot here tonight, a lot of quick slants. And there you see Mensah hauled in, and a nice pickup on first down to get 9 yards.
Again, single setback behind Motter, two receivers to the far side. Now to his hip, the running back goes. Motter comes up firing again. Almost swatted away, but Golowski has it, gets it ahead to the 36-yard line. First down and then some. They only needed a few inches, moving well ahead to Wright State territory.
Well, watch it right here on the replay. Jack Golowski, the second-team All-American a year ago from Northview High School. Again, a lot of quick drops here. Get the ball out in the flats to your athletes. And no secret, I talked to the Wright State coaching staff for the game, and they basically said, we need to stop that quick pass to number 0, which obviously is going to be easier said than done.
The give, straight ahead to the 35-yard line. Hicks. Wright State says there's a fumble. And it sure looks like they got it. The recovery to Darius Burton. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, watch it here. A great penetration up front by that defensive front. There you see the football pop out. They're able to snake it right there on the 35-yard line. But no, they're going to rule it down. So huge break there for the Rockets. You saw the side judge come in there on that replay, point to the ground right away. Ground cannot cause a fumble. Huge break there for Toledo.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't think the play was definitive anyway, so I was holding off. Hicks flanking Motter, back to pass. Looking. Comes out firing to the left side. Golowski gets it. Spun around down the sideline, still on his feet. Finally wrestled out of bounds. It looked like there were some words exchanged down there between Jackson Smith and Golowski. And another first down. 3 first downs on this drive.
Great job there by Brandon Motter one more time, and great job by Golowski. A quick out route. He had to juggle a little bit, but picked up plenty of yak yards. He's able to take a Wright State defender with him, and that's going to move the change one more time. Rockets have the ball in the red zone here, looking to put 6 on the board.
Scoop, did you see the breadbasket catch? Not exactly what a coach teaches, but he got it.
Well, he's a guy. He's that go-to guy, you know. Talking with head coach Marquis Zernich of the Raiders before the game, he mentioned how we know they're going to try to go to Golowski. We have to know where he's at all times. And right now, Golowski has a couple catches here as we have a malfunction on the clock scoreboard. I think they've reset it here to 13:30.
Well, I think what happened was the clock was originally set to 10 minutes, which seemed odd to me. It's supposed to be a 15-minute quarter, and now they're trying to get that reset. Mater flushed out of the pocket on the run, goes to the right side, into the end zone, swiped by Wright State, right at the goal mouth, streaking ahead, short of the 25, and give that interception to William Gleason.
Great read by the sophomore from Waynesville High School. Watch it right here. This time you see Mater going to his right, throws it against the grain, just clearly underthrown. And a nice play there by Gleason, who elects to run it out. Gets to the 13-yard line, but a huge stop there by that Raider defense. Now they'll have an opportunity to strike first here as their offense takes the field.
Mater obviously has a strong arm. We know that. We saw that last year. What happened there?
Well, that time he really didn't have his feet set. He was running to the right. He was thrown off that back leg. And again, just did not get enough on it. But he certainly has plenty of arm. We've seen that not just last year. We saw that in warm-ups here tonight. He was dropping dimes from all over the field. Their Wright State gets a 2-yard gain. And I believe that was Jeray Jefferson, the 6'3", fifth-year senior, with the short gain.
12:47, clock ticking down. Checking the plays on their wrist. That's the latest thing at all levels now, Scoop.
This is a Raider team that wants to establish a run. They would love to slow this game down a little bit, or speed it up, I should say. They'd like to shorten it up here by establishing that run, moving the chains, and trying to dominate time of possession here tonight.
Back to pass, flushed out of the pocket across the 20, and he will race towards the sideline about 2 yards short of the first down.
Great job here. See, it's going to be a quick out route. No one there, so he elects to tuck it away and takes it around the left end. A huge pickup there on second down to make it very manageable. 3rd and 2 coming up here for the Raiders.
Scoop, I believe the quarterback is Matthew Garassi Jr., although his number on our roster is 16, he's number 10 right there. He is the one that had the bulk of the snaps last week. And all of a sudden, Toledo Rockets in the backfield making the snag. Nice stop in there in no time flat, making the stop. Clay.
Now watch it right here. Jelani Cloud was one of many Rocket defenders in there. We did not have a number on the roster for 30 there, but he did a lot of cleaning up. And wow, what a great job by that Rocket defense stepping up, forcing a quick 3 and out after the Rocket turnover on their initial drive.
They have talked about this, and we had this at our podcast, and we'll talk about that in a minute after the booming kick. Will roll, take a Wright State bounce, and will land at about the 33. I tell you what, that was an interesting. It went forward and then went back, and then finally set at the 33. And all return man DJ Ornleff can do is just watch it. But Scoop, we were talking about this in the podcast, and you can listen to the podcast at tinyurl.com. Toledo Takeoff Podcast. And Brandon Mater talked about, in our practices, our coaches talk about we are playing against the best defense in the league.
Yeah, that's a great point, because they're not going to have a lot of teams that are going to have that type of defense. At least that's hopefully the report that they're getting. So, again, that's going to only make you better when you can see that type of reps week in, week out.
Mater completes to Glowski. Still on his feet. He had him wrapped up. Hauls another 3 players to the 48-yard line.
Just impressive again by Jack Glowski. Watch it here on the replay. He's going to release from his tight end spot. Just go straight down the middle there, kind of on a skinny post there. He's able to move the chains one more time. So I love what Toledo's doing with their offense right now. They're getting the ball out in a hurry, putting a lot of pressure on the secondary of the Raiders.
We'll take the timeout. 10:55 to play first quarter. No score. Toledo and Wright State on BCSN.
BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. DaveWhiteChevy.com. And by Sean's Irish Tavern. Locally owned and operated. Proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community.
Either he's going to confess or he's going to lawyer up.
The clock was ticking.
How many have you killed? I want him to know that I already know the answer.
Interrogation Raw. New episodes Thursdays at 9 on A&E.
Presented locally by Johnson & Associates, serving accident victims for over 30 years. Call 419-843-2424.
Are you good with your hands? Do you love to create things? If so, then maybe the skilled trades are for you. Join Beacon and Buckeye Broadband for Trading Up, a new series dedicated to educating you about opportunities to work in the skilled trades. Tag along with Kayla as she explores awesome career paths for you to pursue without the college debt. Catch Trading Up all season long on Beacon and at tradingup.careers. Brought to you by Piercings by Caitlin.
Welcome back. Pass intended for Daniel Mensah. Incomplete. Wright State all over that one. Before that, a 2-yard pickup. That was by Reggie Byers. And it's now 3rd down and 8. They have to get to the 37, at least to the 37 for the first down.
And once again, I don't think they're going to really change the game plan. They want to try to get rid of the football in a hurry, try to find one of their athletes in space and try to let him make a play. If they can get a significant gain here in 3rd down, this could potentially be 4-down territory for the Rockets.
2 receivers on the near side, one on the far side, another one in the slot. And moving forward is Hicks, just to the left side of Motter. Motter back to pass over the middle. Almost snagged, incomplete. And as you hear in the background, a flag on the play. DeAndre Cartledge almost picked that one off.
That ball a little bit overthrown. Rockets fortunate that fell incomplete. We do have an ineligible receiver downfield here for Toledo.
That is official referee, I should say, Jim McDermott. Umpire, Greg Habza. Mike Blazich. Eric Erickson, line of scrimmage. James Worthy. Not that James Worthy, Scoop. Darnell Phillips. Those are your officials tonight. Little L.A. Lakers.
Not the one I used to take on one-on-one. Not that one. Now, veteran crew, these guys have done, I think, every home game here in Toledo Club football the last 3 years. At least the majority of them have.
Same formation. Hicks just to the left of Motter and back. Motter back to pass, looking, going deep. He sure has a rifle. He finds his receiver, Buddha Love, as he steps out of bounds inside the 20. It looks like they're going to put him right at the 20.
Watch it right here. This time he has to kind of keep his feet in bounds here. Nice throw again by Motter. Look at the deep out route. Just able to get a foot down at about the 21-yard line. They're going to spot it close to the 20. Yeah, right now the officials talking it over, getting the spot. But once again, Toledo for the second time tonight will have the ball in the red zone, trying to put some points on the board.
Love and Cartledge to the far side. And that is his name, Cartledge. Over the near side, Blowski as well. Now 3 receivers on the far side. Motter overthrows Mensah. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Good pressure that time from the edge by Darius Burton of the Raiders that forced Motter to get rid of that football maybe a little quicker than he wanted to. But now Wright State has to find a way to slow down this aerial attack of the Rockets, who really came up big on that 4th down conversion.
9:54 to play, first quarter. Cartledge wide to the far side. That is the Wright State sideline. 2 to the near side. Looking over the middle. Incomplete. sending his intended receiver every which way, but loose. That's Luke Masserant. Now 9:50 to play first quarter, 3rd down and 10. So the Rockets a little rusty, a little mistiming on some plays, but you could certainly see the potential.
Oh, no doubt about it. They've got great skilled players. You can tell right away their line is much improved from a year ago. They're really doing a good job giving Motter some time to throw. And certainly they have depth in receiver corps. Last year they had 11 different receivers catch passes.
Motter's got time, looking to the end zone. He made the catch, the diving backward catch. Nicely done. That one, a 20-yarder. Making that connection for the Rockets. You can give credit to Merced Diaz.
Oh, what a catch by Diaz. He had to elevate, and then he was catching that ball right around the fingertips, but he was determined not to let that slip through. That's a big-time play there by Diaz, and another touchdown throw by Motter. And the Rockets do indeed strike first here tonight.
6-0 the score. Parker Miranda to try the point after at the 9:26 mark here in the first quarter. The kick is up. Not super high, but it is super accurate. With 9:25 to play, first quarter, the Rockets on top 7-0 on BCSN.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. DaveWhiteChevy.com. And by Sean's Irish Tavern. Locally owned and operated. Proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community.
Do you know a teacher or aide that goes above and beyond for their students? Now more than ever, we would like to recognize those educators. Go to bcsnnation.com/heroes to nominate a classroom hero today and help us tell their story. As a special thank you, they will be awarded a BCAN feature story and a $300 cash prize. Classroom Heroes is presented by Gallant, Tachus, and Boisenall.
Majority of students receive the Pell Grant. In our area, the majority of Toledo Public School students are eligible.
So I was fortunate enough that I qualified for the Pell Grant, and I got the full amount for the Pell Grant. If I hadn't filled out the FAFSA, I would have never known that that was even a possibility.
I think the thing that we want students to know the most is that there is resources out there for them and that there is a way to help them. There's so many other options and so many people that are here that want to help you and support you.
We are back at the Glass Bowl. Toledo on top, 7-0. A 20-yard strike. Motter to Merced Diaz. And that is the difference. Miranda will kick it away. 3 men back from the 20 to the 15. Fielded on the run. Cuts to the outside. To the sideline go the Raiders. The return man, Jeray Jefferson.
Number 30, Clay of the Rockets. The Raiders will take over first and 10.
Yeah, nice return there by Jefferson. Gets decent starting position here for Wright State. And Dean, right now, this Toledo offense really pick it up where they left off last year, where they averaged 38 points per contest. They drove the ball in their initial drive to start things out, turn it over on an interception in the end zone. Then they come right back, put in the end zone. So impressive start here for Toledo.
Rockets with their the Raiders with their second possession of the game. Going deep over the middle into double coverage. Ill-advised, and that's what happens. Coming up with it, Ornleff. Ornleff. I mean, there were 2 players down there. You can't like those odds at all, but they still forced it.
I watch DJ right here in perfect position, does a great job there on the misread drill, was able to adjust and makes the snare. And that time, Wright State took a vertical shot early, trying to catch the Rockets sleeping. And Rockets don't have it. There you see the turnover belt there. And right now, fantastic start for the Rockets, who want to try to get some separation early in this contest.
I love that. Skip, did you ever get a belt in your day?
I got belted, but I never got a belt.
I knew you were going to say that. Pair of receivers on each side. Motter back to pass. I was saying a three-step drop. Incomplete. That one intended for Anderson, Ja'Cory Anderson. I was going to say that Motter has a three-step drop, but it's more like 5, and sometimes even goes to 6.
Well, they're doing a nice job of trying to get the ball in his hands quickly. You know, you got a guy that's got a lot of new guys out there to work with. You want to try to get him acclimatized here early. They've ran that quick slant here several times tonight. That one looked like it was right where it needed to be. Unfortunately, Anderson just couldn't hang on.
Byars to the side of Motter. Motter over the middle. That one is complete at the 40-yard line. Hauling it in. The pass complete to Jordan Lyons. And that'll be a 9-yard pickup, 3rd down and 1. Setting just short of the 40-yard line.
A nice pickup by the senior from Shawnee High School. And again, nothing fancy here by Toledo, but I like how they're taking those quick 3-step drops, getting rid of the football. That's going to do a couple things. One, it's certainly going to avoid the sack. It's also going to give you a chance to put a lot of pressure and maybe set up some deep routes here later on.
Byars straight ahead, lowers the shoulder, gets across to the 45-yard line. They needed one, so they avoid the 4th down situation, and they move to the middle of the field, getting set up at the 47.
Yeah, that's a nice, solid run. And again, if they can control 1st down, boy, it really opens up your playbook when you're consistently looking at 2nd and short, which has been the case here tonight.
Anderson on the far side, 2 receivers on the near side. Motter calling out the signals, looking. And he will go down in a fumble, and I believe UT has it back. Byars comes up with it. Johnny on the spot. They'll put it back at the 30-yard line after the gain. That loss, a 17-yard loss. So that would make it, Scoop, about 2nd and about 23.
Yeah, that's a ball you want to see Motter get rid of. You know, that's something I talked with head coach Jamie Young beforehand, the fact that he needs to understand if there's not somebody open early, we just need to throw it out of bounds. He's got plenty of arm to do that. But again, that was one of those things. He wanted to make something happen. Hung on to the football too long. The Rockets pay for it.
Motter's got time over the middle. Boy, does he love those middle passes. Wow, that one, the leaping catch by Buddha Love. That one into double coverage.
Yeah, once again, well-executed pitch and catch. Watch it right here. This is going to be one of those skinny posts once again. And again, that football was thrown right where it had to be. Nice catch there by Jalen Love.
Timeout. We'll take the timeout as well. 6:57 first quarter action. Toledo on top. 7-0 on BCSN.
High school sports on BCSN is brought to you by Appliance Center, voted the #1 furniture store for the last 7 years. And by
Genoa Bank. We take your banking needs personally.
BCSN loves high school football, and Game Day Nation is the place to be on Friday nights. starting at 7. Join the three of us for 3.5 hours.
Live look-ins, insight, and analysis.
Game Day Nation, presented by Renewal by Anderson, a better way to a better window.
Then at 10:30, it's time for Game Day Nation Overtime. The scores, interviews, and highlights to finish off your night. Overtime, Friday nights on BCSN and the BCSN app, presented by Piping Industry Training Center. Don't make it a pipe dream, make it a reality. Apply today.
We are back. Motter trying to connect down there with Daniel Mensah, and he was tiptoeing the sideline. He had the pass for a moment and then lost it, but regardless, he was out of bounds at that point.
Yeah, he made a great effort, and that's a guy they love to see get involved with the offense. Remember, Mensah was a second-team All-American wide receiver a year ago. And the grad student from Westerville South nearly had a nifty catch right there.
Motter, complete or incomplete, intended from Mensah again. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Credit Motter. He really threw that ball where it needed to be. Looked like it was going to be enough for the first down. Again, looked like that time Mensah just tried to take off running before he secured the football. That time maybe just a little bit too antsy.
.636 here, coming to you live from the Glass Bowl. Scoop, the Glass Bowl, the perfect situation, the perfect setting, the only facility of its kind in the National Club Football Association, so significant that it earned Toledo the right to host the playoffs.
Yeah, and why not? What a tremendous venue this is here at the Glass Bowl. You know, so much history here. Just a phenomenal stadium. I believe the capacity is nearly 28,000 here. And I know at one point they had over 36,000 fans packed into the Glass Bowl at one time. Don't tell the fire marshal. But they've had some great crowds here, and why not here at Toledo. But to see the Final Four being staged here in Toledo, boy, I think that's a huge shot in the arm, not just for this club football team, but for the entire city.
Second down and about 6. Have to get to the 46 of Toledo. Shotgun formation. Give to Jefferson. Jefferson trying to weave his way through, and a lot of work. And he got back maybe to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that time they tried to run a little delay play there to Jefferson. But again, you're getting great pressure there for the Rockets. I love how the edge is really doing a great job containing, but they're not over-pursuing, and they're forcing things right into that nice, beefy defensive line that we talked about so much, Dean, in that podcast, how they've really done a great job of really making some strides on the line play, both on the offense and defense. Now a big third down for this Rocket defense, trying to force another 3 and out.
Third down and 6. Clock rolling to the 5:06 mark. And I think they're saying they need to clear out the neutral zone. And Scoop, and I don't want to complain, and I really am not, but it doesn't matter. No matter how hard you spend time on the rosters, somehow they're never accurate. So Garasi fires incomplete. And the Rockets will take over.
That's amazing you say that, Dean. I went online today, double-checked here early afternoon, and I found a few changes, and I updated my roster. But since that time, there's been a few other changes, and we'll get them to you as quickly as we can. But credit that Toledo defense as they come up with another 3 and out. So right now on 3 possessions, Wright State has only ran 7 offensive plays.
Boots it away, a high kick, not necessarily long. Will bounce at the 25, and we'll take a Wright State bounce, and we'll go out of bounds at about the 17. Scoop, the other thing, too, that we talk about, the guys play this for the love of the game, but not only are they're the players, they're the treasurers, they're the fundraisers, they're the guys who take the jerseys and clean them. They clean them themselves or whatever. They organize the tailgate. They put together the stats, they do the press releases, and they do whatever it takes because that's what they do, because they love doing this.
You're right, Dean. And you and I arrived here about 5 o'clock there in the parking lot, and we talked to a few of the players as they're heading to the stadium. But again, we're talking 2 hours plus before the game. These guys are ready, just itching to get out here to show these fans what they can do here tonight.
Incomplete.
Boy, that was the right play call that time. Unfortunately for Toledo, that's going to fall incomplete, but they had a slew of blockers over there on the wide side, and that play was going to go a long way. But there is laundry on the field.
I loved how that play, and of course that was the intention, drew the defense in, and it created the perfect situation. 4:40 to play, first quarter. Toledo up 7-0 as darkness starts to fall here at the Glass Bowl. Great lighting, of course, here, so, plenty of visibility.
And there you see the white hat Jim McDermott's there with the false start there against Toledo, so that will back things up. That ball will be placed right about the 12-yard line, so 1st and 15 here for Toledo. Yeah, right now, really the longest field they've been looking at on the night.
Motter comes up firing. That one complete to Corey Anderson.
Yeah, I love the game plan. Just get the ball out quickly, let your athletes make plays. And that time, they're just trying to get a little bit back, but that time they got more than a little bit back. They got 13 yards there, so 2nd down and 2 coming up. Great job overcoming the penalty.
Motter brings the play in from the sideline. And if later on we'll get a shot of the sidelines, but one of the guys on the sideline, none other than University of Toledo Football Hall of Famer Tom Duncan, who was here as part of the pregame festivities.
And wow, what fun that was, talking with Tom Duncan out in the parking lot ahead of time as well. And there's a nice pitch and catch there.
Pitch and catch is good.
That's going to be another Rocket first down. So the offense is really showing some signs of promise here, Dean, moving the chains. Watch it right here. This time, Motter's going to roll to the left here, and watch Mensa come across the field here. Again, knows exactly where that sideline is. Great job dropping to the knees there before going out of bounds there.
Mensa might be their answer to the possession guy. Either that or Lasky, or the both of them are.
And for the second time tonight, we're going to have an ineligible man downfield for Toledo, so that will negate the first down. It'll be a walk-off, so now the Rockets will be looking at 2nd down, and we're going to call it 7 yards to go.
And, Scoop, I think some of these, if not all of them, are just first game things. You don't get things worked out unless you play the game. Second half, it'll be interesting. Second quarter, it'll be interesting to see how many of these issues.
Well, the great thing about those, Dean, these are all correctable mistakes right now. It's not like all of a sudden, hey guys, we gotta do something completely different. They just have to clean things up. Something very correctable. I'm sure we'll see some adjustments at halftime.
Motter over the middle, a collision between defensive backs. They're trying to thread the needle intended for Mensa, and there was a clear collision at the 43-yard line.
Boy, Jackson Smith for Wright State, he jumped that route, had a beat on it. Rockets, fortunate that ball was not picked off.
We're going to take this time out. We will be back. Toledo on top, 7-0. This is BCSN.
Fusion Bistros open Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. Friday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday, noon, 2 a.m.
Season 2 of the BCSN Nation podcast is here, and you don't want to miss it.
So one of these teams are going to come away with the win.
We've got all the highlights, incredible stories, and game breakdowns to get you ready for your team's matchup.
I need to know who has the best concession food.
Can you do it against Whitmer, Finley, and Perrysburg?
If the play was still alive, there was a chance.
So now you got me breaking this kid down.
Who outlasts
Catch new episodes Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on BCSN and wherever you get your podcasts. The BCSN Nation podcast is powered by Marco's Pizza.
Majority of students receive the Pell Grant. In our area, the majority of Toledo Public School students are eligible.
So I was fortunate enough that I qualified for the Pell Grant, and I got the full amount for the Pell Grant. If I hadn't filled out the FAFSA, I would have never known that that was even a possibility.
I think the thing that we want students to know the most is that there is resources out there for them and that there is a way to help them. There's so many other options and so many people that are here that want to help you and support you.
That pass falls incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
It's a frat name? He said, no, this is the name on my birth certificate.
Wow. The snap, the kick. Fielded, will not be fielded. Wright State lets it roll, and maybe not the best decision. Had it at the 50 and then rolled back to the 40. Jackson Smith just backs away from it.
That's a great special teams play there by the Rockets. That's going to flip the field there a little bit. That's going to end up being a 39-yard punt with no return. So great job that time. The Rockets are kind of pinned deep inside their own territory. And now Wright State still down just a touchdown here, trying to get the offense on track. Remember, in their 3 possessions, they've had a 3-and-out. They had a pick on the first play of their second possession, and then they had a 3-and-out. So now they're trying to do something they haven't done tonight, move the chains and try to shorten this game out.
Garassi under center for Wright State. Ball at the 40-yard line. Matt in the backfield going nowhere. And there the stop. Jerate Jefferson went down in the stop by the University of Toledo. You can give credit to Adrian Dari.
Yeah, great penetration that time. Again, just no place to go. Right now, Toledo is winning this game in the trenches, doing a great job of getting off the football. They've had plenty of pursuit. That's going to be a tackle for loss.
2:46 and counting down. Jackson still in the backfield. Gets the handoff, cuts the opposite direction, tries to turn to the outside. 3 Toledo defenders down there, and we have a flag in the backfield. That is almost always holding.
Yeah, you would think that's going to be holding just where you see the flag, and there you see the call there from Jim McDermott. But again, I love how the Rockets are really flying to the football on defense. And again, that's just their DNA. This is a team that wants to be known for their aggressive style, flying to the football, getting everybody involved. And right now they have a decision. Do they want to tackle for a loss, or do they want the penalty? I think they'll probably take the penalty because that's going to be a spot foul from where that flag was thrown.
And I think that is exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's really going to move the football back. In fact, the officials walk it off inside the 30-yard line here of the Raiders. So I love the call there by the Toledo coaching staff. They're really, trusting that defense, trying to get some field position back after their offense was forced to punt the football away deep inside their own territory.
We don't have official stats up here, but Scoop, I don't believe Wright State has a first down this game.
They do not. Again, this is just their 9th offensive play here, and comes on their 4th drive.
Garassi over the middle, incomplete, nobody there. Well, there was somebody there. It was a Toledo player, DJ Ornloff. He
That
had
time,
the interception earlier.
looked like they were trying to go to Jeray Jefferson on a quick in route. And that time he just tried to maybe guide or aim the ball in there and got too much on it. So tough break. Now it's going to bring up 3rd and long from the 29-yard line. They need to get to the 50 for a first down. So 3rd and 21 coming up. This is where, if you're Toledo, you cannot let them off the hook. This is certainly not 4-down territory. So right now, keep everyone in front. Let them throw underneath you. Just do not give up the big play right here.
3rd down and every bit of 20 yards. Garassi going deep. Overthrows his intended receiver. Incomplete. And I believe that was intended for Troy Anderson. That was a good call, though, I think, Scoop.
I definitely like the call. I think if the receiver would have kept going, maybe not turned back to the football. But again, early in the season here, these guys have not had a ton of reps together. You know, those timing plays sometimes can be awfully difficult. And again, big stop there. And for the 3rd time tonight, the Raiders are 3 and out, forced to punt the football away.
Mensah back at his own 30-yard line, and that is going to fall well short of that. Mensah will pick it up at the 35, actually. Breaks free, and then finally will go down at the 32, at the 31, rather.
Yeah, nice job by Mensah. A lot of guys make a mistake. They let that ball, once it hit the turf, they just let it roll. He picked it up off the first bounce, and even though he did not get a return, what he did was not allow that ball to roll another 10, 15 yards. So great job there. And again, a decent starting position here for Toledo. It's the ball spot on the 36-yard line of the Rockets as we approach the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter.
Rockets break huddle. Mensah on the near side, 2 receivers on the far side. Hicks moves closer, Mensah in motion. So all the receivers are on the right side, but goes to the left side. It is complete for a loss. The pass complete to Mazerat. A loss, actually, of a yard.
So watch it right here. Just going to be a quick out route. Nice job of reaching back for the football. But again, going to be a negative play. Going to be a loss of 1 there for Toledo.
Minute 49 remaining in the first quarter. Back to pass over the middle. Complete, advancing to the 44. Still about 2 yards short of the first down.
Nice job by Jalen Love. Watch it right here. Kind of they do a little rub there, a quick slant pass across the middle. Well, that's awfully big. Now they make it a manageable 3rd down and 2. This is where you love to have that powerful running game where you can hand off and move the chains. Right now, Wright State stays with their 4-3 defense that we've seen most of the night.
Nice give up the gut. It should be good for the first down. The carry by Byers.
Yeah, great job by Reggie Byers. He knew exactly where that first down marker was able to reach that football across there before the knee came down. But watch it right here. He needed 2. He gets about 3.5. That's a tremendous effort there by Byers.
Injured player down at the 46. We will take the timeout. We will be back. This is Toledo Rocket Club football on BCSN.
National Football Association to find out all your teams nationwide right here.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Directions Credit Union is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight Program.
BCSN loves high school football, and Game Day Nation is the place to be on Friday nights.
Starting at 7, join the 3 of us for 3.5 hours.
Live look-ins, insight, and analysis.
Game Day Nation, presented by Renewal by Anderson, a better way to a better window.
Then at 10:30, it's time for Game Day Nation Overtime. The scores, interviews, and highlights to finish off your night. Overtime, Friday nights on BCSN and the BCSN app, presented by Piping Industry Training Center. Don't make it a pipe dream, make it a reality. Apply today.
We are back 7-0, Toledo over Wright State. Great to have you along. Steve Jackson and Scoop Miller, Brandon Motter breaking the huddle after the meeting with the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, right now, Dean, looks like Wright State is kind of gone to the nickel defense. They're dropping an extra guy back into coverage, going with that extra DB to slow down this aerial assault by Toledo. It's been effective early.
Trips to the near side. Motter rolls to the near side on the run. Tosses to the up man. Incomplete.
By that time, Glowski looked like he just kind of ran out of room there trying to stay in bounds. Again, nice pressure there by Wright State, who for the last couple plays has actually only rushed 3 guys. They have 4 guys on the line. They've been holding a guy back. But right now, a big 3rd down coming up here for Toledo.
Mensah on the near side. 19 seconds left in the first quarter. Motter over the middle. Throws it in the coverage and an interception. They're going to, that's exactly what it is.
What a play that time by Jackson Smith. You know, he was on one of those guys on the preseason watch list, but watch it right here. Does a great job of reading the football there. That time, that was one of those timing plays there by Toledo. And Jackson had such a good read on that. Jaden Love did not turn until right when the football was imminent. And by the time he did, Jackson Smith made a tremendous play. And the second interception of the night. And there you see the turnover chain being worn with some pride there by Smith.
And by the way, if you look in the background of that sideline shot right there, Wright State has cheerleaders. Wright State back to pass. Over the middle, nicely done. The big receiver bounding his way straight ahead. Chad Swanson near the first down, and it is a first down.
Oh, nice job by Swanson. Watch it right here in the replay. Just a quick drop there, but look at the nice hands. Is able to avoid the official. And for the first time tonight, Wright State has a first down and have the ball moving. That will be the end of the first quarter.
We'll take the timeout. We'll be back with quarter number 2. This is Toledo Rockets Club Football on BCSN.
High school sports on BCSN is brought to you by Ace Appliance. Yes, Ace now sells major appliances at aceapplianceshop.com. And by First Solar, leading the world's sustainable energy future. To join our team, visit firstsolar.com/careers.
Are you good with your hands? Do you love to create things? If so, then maybe the skilled trades are for you. Join Beacon and Buckeye Broadband for Trading Up, a new series dedicated to educating you about opportunities to work in the skilled trades. Tag along with our host Rakayla as she explores awesome career paths for you to pursue without the college debt. Catch Trading Up all season long on Beacon and at tradingup.careers. Brought to you by Piercings by Caitlin.
We are back. Another first down through the air. Troy Anderson with the Garasi pass. And a modest drive building for the Wright State Raiders.
Yeah, nice grab there by Anderson, who caught it just beyond the first down marker. So consecutive first downs here by the Raiders. And for the first time tonight, they have the ball in Toledo Rocket territory.
4-receiver set. Goes to the far side. And it looked like the receiver went to the inside. It was intended to go out. And so now it is second down. It looked like it was intended for Jackson Smith, but it could have also been for Carl Pittman.
Yeah, I'm not sure this was a game plan coming in for Wright State, having to go upstairs, but they really have just not able to find any holes against that Rocket front four. So now they've gone to the aerial attack here, resulting in a couple first downs here on this drive.
Garasi in the middle, almost intercepted, and there's a flag on the play as well. UT player Brody Zakovitz wants to know why it was called. As soon as the flag was blown, he knew it was on him, and they're going to say it's interference. But Scoop, I mean, can it be interference if you're in a crowd of other people? Doesn't interference have to be in the open after you get out of that no contact zone or the contact zone?
Well, I think they're going to rule that the contact came too soon. It's going to be. It's just going to be a 5-yard walk-off, I believe. We'll see. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 5 coming up. Right now, the official's talking it over.
And I think that's exactly what it's going to be. Because otherwise, if that was, it would have been from the spot of the infraction.
Yes, that time illegal contact. So again, they'll repeat the down, but it'll be 5 yards closer.
Gorsey hit in the backfield, complete, and Toledo comes up with it. And it looked like, while the pass was intended for Chad Swanson, he coughed it up. And there's still a scramble down there. Look at those two players. It's like they're wrestling over the last piece of pizza.
Yeah, that's when you're official. You just yell, he's got it, he's got it. You don't know who has it. You just yell, he's got it, to try to get the guys to get off the pile. Well, I would think they're going to probably rule that down. And if so, that'll be another first down for the Raiders. But wow, what a shot that Garasi took there, getting rid of the football. My goodness.
And what a great shot, getting those three guys tangled up. It's right now arms extended on both sides of whose football it is. It looks like it's going to stay with Wright State. So it'll be second down.
You be the judge right here. Look at the shot Garasi takes right there. And there, does he make a football play?
I think it's incomplete.
I think they got it right. That time he was not able to really secure the catch after he hit the turf. Again, Toledo putting out some heavy hits here tonight.
Second down and 5 from the 40-yard line, 7-0 the score. Garasi down the sideline, looking again for Swanson, incomplete, and it's third down and 5.
Wow, they had the perfect call on that time. Toledo was going really with an all-out blitz. Watch it right here. Watch the linebackers coming in there. They send 2 of the 3 linebackers, and this ball is well thrown just off the fingertips. Huge break fair for the Rockets. looked like Wright State was going to tie things up on that play right there.
And Swanson did everything that you're supposed to do as well. The only thing, didn't bring it in. It was incomplete. But, when you're watching that type of connection, quarterback throws, guy puts his hands out, that is what the passing game is designed to be.
Well, certainly a guy like Swanson, who's 6'4", a fifth-year senior. This is an experienced wide receiver. And, again, that's probably a play he usually makes. Would not have been an easy one by any stretch. But remember, this is a Wright State football team that's been playing club football for quite a while. I think it might have been 2009 when they actually were champions.
That was, in fact, the year they were the champions.
And this is the team that's been around Toledo just in their third season, trying to get the edge here. Remember, this is the third game of the series. Both teams have won one.
Garassi comes up firing again. Intended for Swanson yet again. Incomplete.
I like how Toledo's really stiffened up. I like how they're really changing things up on defense. We've talked about the different blitz packages we've seen, but we're also seeing some different stunts from their defensive linemen, which I love. It really makes things confusing. I've seen them do some X's or twists, as they say, so to speak, on some of the things. They've been overloading certain sides, just trying to give a lot of different things to look at. And right now, Wright State has one of the best punters in the nation. I think they're going to bring him on to kick here. That'll be Exocho Galvin.
He is from Findlay, Ohio, by the way, so not that far away.
Last year he averaged nearly 40 yards per punt. Tonight he's already had a 53-yarder. He's also pinned the Rockets deep. So right now, big call coming up.
We'll take the timeout. Tell you what, we'll keep it right here. A chance to take care of some business here. Thank some of our sponsors and, of course, Buckeye Bark. Buckeye Broadband has partnered with Bark to help parents keep their kids safe online with Bark. The junior parental controls now available for free with internet service. The Buckeye Broadband. Bark's online security solutions include text and social media monitoring, website blocking, and more. Ask how to upgrade to Bark Premium.
Contact CloudSolutions@gmail.com for your customized gear and apparel.
14-11 to play, second quarter. Toledo scoring at about the 9-minute mark of the first quarter on a 20-yard scoring strike to Merced Diaz, and that is the difference right now. I believe it was about 9:22 in the first quarter. And so it's 4th and 5, and
they send the offense back on the field.
Get back out there is what they're saying. Garassi fires incomplete, and perfect timing on that hit. Starvitz in there making the stop, and he obviously very excited coming back after that.
They should be. That's a big stop there on 4th down. That was by far the best drive for Wright State tonight. They had the ball in Rocket territory. They got the 5-yard penalty to make it 1st and 5, but then that Rocket defense stiffened up, and the last 4 plays do not net a yard, and Toledo will take over on their own 40-yard line.
Toledo, that scoring drive, I think that came on their 3rd possession. That came right after came on their 2nd one, right after the interception. Straight ahead, hauling the mail, hauling 3 other Wright State players with him as well. Byers gets it to the 44. A rare run tonight for either one of these squads.
Well, I like it. That time Byers was able to really bowl his way for 4 yards there, and I think that's going to be important for Toledo. They have to find a way to be multi-dimensional. We know that Brandon Motter, who has a solid arm and has the experience back there to direct this offense, but they need to find that happy medium And that time getting 4 yards on first down is certainly good for the Rockets.
Shotgun formation. Motter back to pass. Fanning out into the flat at the 40-yard line. Byers dives ahead or leaps ahead to about the 46.
Wow, that's a sweet play there by Reggie Byers. And again, nothing fancy. Get the ball out to the flats quickly. They're going to see that quick 3-step drop. Just going to throw it out to the flats there. But watch the moves here by Byers. He's able to get to the edge. And there's a little track athlete that makes the hurdle there. And now 3rd down and 2 coming up for Toledo.
I liked how the play set up kind of as a decoy as well. Going into the slot, Love. Motter back to pass, flushed out, going to his left. Throws on the run and throws into coverage. Love can't find the handle, spinning every which way. And I think also right there, that may not have been Motter's best choice just because he was on the run.
Well, that's one of those plays. I think down the road they'll execute. That time they just weren't on the same page. You saw some separation. Love was open, but he needed just to kind of sit down. He kept drifting downfield. That allowed the center fielder to come over and disrupt the play. So great job by Wright State. And now the Rockets look like they're going to roll the dice here and go for it on their own 49-yard line. On 4th down.
4th and 1, Motter in the shotgun. 2 almost intercepted. And Scoop, I'm telling you what, they dodged a big bullet right there. But a turnover on downs nonetheless, as Jayla Griffith almost snagged that one.
Griffith that time had a beat on the football. Watch it right here. He's going to jump this route here, gets a good read on it. And wow, he had that one on the fingertips. Would love to have that one back. But a big-time play by that Raider defense. And after allowing that early touchdown to Toledo on that second drive, as you mentioned, Dean, this Wright State defense has really come to play here. And right now we're still looking at a one-possession game here as we approach the 13-minute mark of this opening half.
13:02. This may be a good chance for our camera crew to circle down to the Wright State, right around the 35-yard line. There's a gentleman in khakis in a blue shirt. We'll get that at some point, but that is Tom Duncan right there. We'll get a chance to talk about our honorary captain tonight.
Yeah, he was a part of the coin flip out there tonight, and he's on the Rocket sideline here, and you can see that man loves his football. He was here yesterday in an exciting Rocket win against Northern Illinois, and he was able to tell me that game play-by-play. But again, nice to see him out here at the Glass Bowl. There you see a good look at Tom.
There we go.
What a story he's been. Remember, his junior and senior year, the Rockets ran the table. In fact, his senior year, 1970, they finished in the polls number 12 in the nation. He was part of that 23-game winning streak that later went to, I believe, 35 games. The year after he graduated, he went 12-0. But as a senior, he was first-team safety, first-team All-MAC, quarterback at Bowser High School, came here to be a quarterback. They moved him to cornerback, then to safety. He was invited to play in the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama in 1970. What an honor.
And now a part of the BCSN crew. What a stop in the backfield. The Rockets snagged the running back, and it brings up 3rd down and 16, maybe 17.
Tremendous job on the edge. Here you're going to see it come in there. Nice wrap and tackle, number 99. I'm sorry, do not have a name on my roster.
That is Kyle Storer.
Storer. I should recognize him as Storer. He was second-team All-American a year ago. He's a guy that he's on everybody's radar. And, again, another local guy showing off his talents. But what a big-time play there by Kyle Storer. And that's really going to throw Wright State off schedule.
In the case of Wright State, he's on their radar as a Rocket coming in. And that's exactly what happened there. Flag on the play. Comes up firing. There is a completion short of the 50-yard line. And they're making this. Oh, go ahead, Scoop.
We're seeing some big-time hits out there. That time Adnan Dari came in and just put a lick on the receiver. It's going to be a short game, but boy, he's going to be feeling that one tomorrow. But remember, Daria, another guy who was an All-American on the defensive side of things last year for Toledo. But watch that play one more time right here. Again, just kind of a underneath route there. Stopped in front of the zone defense, but great pressure that time by Toledo.
Brody Zakovitz and also down in there making the stop. I believe that was Dan. It was Dan, but Zakovitz, he's got a motor on him. That's what football coaches talk about, a guy that keeps on moving.
Well, all these guys are flying the football. You can see that's just been inbred in these guys, and they just continue to try to make things happen. These guys love to put extra heat, and look for them to go after the punter right here.
Not exactly what you want for a punt, but I guess all's well that ends well as it rolls inside the 15. They will put it at the 2, and that had disaster all over it.
Boy, it really did end up being a 43-yard punt with no return, but I think that was partially blocked. Not necessarily blocked, it was low-line drive. I think it went off one of the linemen's back. But a favorable roll there for Wright State, and Toledo looking at a long field as they'll start things out inside their own 15-yard line.
Scoop and I were talking about golf on the trip here, and we're talking about all those shots that you make that aren't exactly perfect. That was one right there.
Yeah, that's in the stat book, that's going to look like an impressive 43-yard punt.
Over the middle, Glosky across the 30, still ahead to the 35 with 3 Wright State Raiders in tow.
Well, that's the play we've seen work year in, year out here for Toledo Club football. Watch it right here. This is going to be a pop pass there to the tight end, Jack Glowski, and he finds himself wide open. Look at the yak yards, the yards after the catch, yards after contact, keeps the feet churning. First down on the 35-yard line.
Both those guys went to Northview. Brandon Motter talked about it before, saying, you know, he's known him since he was really little, so he knows exactly what he's going to do. Byers to the outside, streaking high, stepping out near the 45, and should be good for plenty of a first down.
I like how they're showcasing Byers back there. You know, he's got great wheels back there. That time they went with the quick pitch. They're able to pull a guy out to the outside. And when you want to run that to the wide side, it's hard to keep a guy like Byers from getting the edge. And that time he gets 9 yards and first down. But there you see the pull action there out to that left side. Wow, great job of controlling first down here by Toledo. 2nd and 1 coming up.
The pitch again to Byers. Streaking to the right side across the 45 to 50 and steps out near the 48.
I love it. Same play, other side, same result. And that's going to be a rocket first down. But again, watch how they run this to the wide side. A quick pitch. There you see the nice hook downfield down there. And by the time Wright State gets to him, he has the ball in Raider territory. Spotted at the 49-yard line. So right now, Toledo doing a great job of being multi-dimensional, mixing in the pass and the run.
The way they have worked the run of late is kind of like a change-up pitch in baseball. You keep passing, then you put the run in there. Motter overthrows his intended receiver. Can't find Glosky. Glosky says he was interfered with, and officials say, nope.
That time Glosky felt he was being held there. A guy had a little bit of jersey on him, but again, just trying to release him across the middle there, something they've done so well over the years. That time, plenty of Raider defenders in the secondary. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 here for Toledo.
Ball at the 49-yard line. To the far side. The pitch. Byers again cuts to the outside and steps out of bounds at about the 41.
Yeah, nice job by Byers. There's that quick pitch again, but this time they ran to the short side of the field. Watch it here come up the replay, but look how he's going to take that one step in right there, and he's able to juke a guy. Again, great job controlling 2nd down there, and now 3rd down and 1 here. So that's a huge pickup right there. And Toledo now has had some success running the football.
And they're starting to find their rhythm here. You know, this will really be... let's count the first quarter as your mulligan. We talk about golf. First game of the season, Toledo trying to find its rhythm. I think they may be close. Fakes the pitch to Byers. Incomplete. And that was kind of an excuse me throw over there, intended for Ja'Cory Anderson, and a flag down there at the 30-yard line.
Well, that time they used that quick pitch. They set that up as a fake, so they faked the quick pitch, tried to get to one-on-one isolation there down that right sideline. Right now the officials sorting it out. So it's going to be, once again, an ineligible man downfield. And that'll end up being declined.
Third time this game that has happened at least.
Yeah, that's one of those RPOs. And that time I think the line was suspected a run, and so they released downfield. And when the fake occurred, the time we released that football,
fourth and about two. Byers steps ahead, still on his feet, cuts around the corner, and will go inside the 13. That one all of about 34 yards.
I love the play call that time on fourth down and short. Give it to Byers, but watch how they kind of spread things out here. But again, the problem is when you're in that short distance defense, once you get through that first level, it's going to take a while for the second level to get there. And wow, what a nifty run by Byers as the Rockets have the ball in the red zone one more time.
We'll take the timeout. We'll be back. 9:37 in the second quarter. Toledo up 7-0 on BCSN.
Is it time yet? It's time.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
We are back. Toledo on the march. 1st and 10 at about the 8-yard line of pickup. We will call 7 yards and a straight ahead run. Some power running at that by Hunter Larnazak.
Yeah, Larnazak from Springfield High School showed his stuff right there. Solid run.
Byers cuts ahead, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage. He had the pitch out in the flat, and he had to slow down because he was bobbling it and juggling it and still able to hold on to it, which was a feat in itself, but still able maybe to get an extra yard. But nonetheless, that could have been, again, another play that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, that's a big play, the fact he's able to hang on to that football. It looked like did not have a handle on it, took a shot right away, but he's able to corral it in. Even though it does not result in a gain of yardage, they still will have a couple cracks at it here. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Have to get to the 5-yard line. Motter, he's got time into the end zone. Incomplete. It was looking to Daniel Mensah.
Yeah, pretty good toss that time from Motter as Mensah was cutting across the back of the end zone. He had to reach a little bit, but watch it right here. Well thrown football there, and he was really the only man open. And boy, Mensah would probably like to have that one back. That'll bring up a 4th down decision time here for Jamie Young. But I think if you have talked with Coach Jamie Young, when they have a chance to go for it, I got to believe they're going to go for it.
No guts, no glory. You might as well. 4th and 3. Ball marked at the 8-yard line. Got to get it to the 5. Motter sets up into the end zone, and we have a touchdown. If first you don't succeed, you find Mensa again on the far side, about a yard deep in the end zone, and it's now 13-0.
Wow, tremendous execution from the Rocket offense. Great job here. The line given some time to Motter, but this ball was thrown exactly where it had to be, and credit Mensa there. That time he went down there, was able to corral it at about the ankles. And, boy, that's a big touchdown there that ends a drought that goes back to early in the first quarter.
About a 16-minute drought if you actually talk about game clock time. Some movement, the flag coming, and looks like they'll move the ball ahead for the Rockets, I would assume.
And now you wonder, do you go for 2 here with the ball spotted at the 1.5-yard line? We'll see what Toledo decides to draw up here. Looks like they're going to decline the penalty, and they'll re-kick it here from the 10-yard line. So once again, the point after try coming up.
Miranda will line it up, putting the hand up between the uprights. Here comes the snap. It is down, and it is up, and it is no good.
That extra point is no good.
We take the timeout. Toledo extends their lead to 13-0. 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. This is University of Toledo Club Football on BCSN.
It's time.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
When you're injured in a car accident, handling all the pieces can be overwhelming. There are hospital bills, lost wages, let alone insurance companies calling nonstop pressuring you. When injured in an accident, you are not alone. We have the experience to handle all the pieces of your car accident, so you don't have to. Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. We're on your side.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall. Call us. We can help.
We are back. UT Club football up 13-0. The latest, an 8-yard strike. Motter to Mensa, making it again 13-0. And I expect the floodgates to kind of come open here real soon.
Remember, Wright State, I think they have 24 players dressed, so in the second half, that may be a factor.
And UT is at the 50 mark, maybe more. They had about 3 or 4 players that came into camp last week, and they were already very close to 50. Ball returned out to about the 29-yard line. Wright State will take over.
Right now, it's going to be awfully important for the Raiders to just sustain a drive. They need to get some points on the board. You know, as uphill battles they fought here all night, they're still just down 2 scores. If they could somehow punch one into the end zone, boy, this could be a huge shot in the arm for Wright State.
And this is, this is a big possession for them. You have to have, you talk about football being a physical game, it's also a mental game. Interception. Leach comes up with it, and I'm not sure the Wright State receiver even knew it was coming to him.
Yeah, that time, just a breakdown here by Wright State. Watch it. And watch Evan Leach, number 14 from St. Francis de Sales High School. He got a beat on that football. Again, miscommunication there as Wright State was not on the same page, but credit the Rockets. They take advantage, and right there you see him. That's a happy young man. Evan Leach comes up with a big pick there for Toledo.
Isaiah Van Dyne, the receiver that went out, and next thing you know, Leach cuts in front of him, and he gets the turnover belt.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get one for a broadcast, the turnover belt.
Wow, that's an incredible play right there. I know it's going to go down as a 1-yard gain, but my goodness, that time Reggie Byers, that looked like that was going to be a loss of 4 or 5 yards. Somehow he's able to get, wow, they're going to spot that. He's going to get 2 yards out of that, so that's a big-time play. Kind of keeps Toledo on schedule here. 2nd and 8 coming up from the 33-yard line of the Raiders.
Mater receives the snap. He's got time. Throws on the run. Incomplete. I think that was nothing more than being rushed.
Yeah, that time Wright State had 5 guys really out there in the outfield and just one Rocket receiver. And that time Mater tried to really force one in there with a line drive throw. That was almost too hot to handle for anyone.
Third down and about 8. Mater with the pink socks looking down the sideline, and nobody will get to that. That was intended for Lions, I believe, and that was Lions.
Yeah, I'm surprised they took a vertical shot right there. I thought they might try to get maybe 4 or 5 of that there on 3rd down to get the rest on 4th down, but now they're looking at 4th down and 8. Ball spotted on the 33-yard line. This could be awfully big here for Wright State after turning the football over in their own territory. Boy, if they could force the 3 and out, that would be huge. To make that a 4 and out, I should say.
And Scoop, we were talking about Tom Duncan before, the Hall of Fame defensive back. He's on the sideline talking to the UT club football defensive backs.
Well, I love it. He's been talking with all those guys. He was talking to Brandon Mater after that last Rocket touchdown, but you're right. He's been in the ear of some of those defensive guys, and I think those guys are loving it down there, honestly, Dean.
4th and 8, Mater backpedaling, looking into the far corner. Long aerial incomplete. I tell you, he's a gunslinger.
Well, that's why not? It's 4th down and throwing out there in the end zone, kind of a jump ball. Worst case scenario ends up being an interception, which is going to be a touchback. But again, for a moment there, the Rockets had a guy open. But again, great job by Wright State. And again, since they've gone to the nickel there and sent an extra defensive back, things have been a little bit tougher for Brandon Mater here tonight.
And, most guys you're not going to suggest they throw into double coverage. I think those bets are off with Brandon Mater.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's really established. He's a guy I think to continue to grow and get better. I think if he can get that edge, mentally, or get that just get that confidence that just oozes off him, he's got the ability to lead. He certainly has the tools. We've seen that throughout the past few seasons.
The misdirection down the sideline, a big pickup for Wright State across the 45, and they're going to put it at the 48.
Remember, after not getting a first down the entire first quarter and having negative yards to show for it, Wright State here has found a little bit here. Here's a nifty run there to the outside, picks up a couple nice blocks. Great job there by Jeray Jefferson Jr. once again.
He's kind of quietly been going about his business.
There he is one time. He's going to make a nice cutback against the grain. He's going to get 5 more yards there on first down. So excellent job here by the Raiders, trying to hang tough, trailing 13-0. And again, make no bones about it. This is a big game. in the Great Lakes division here. I mean, this is an awfully important game here. I think both these teams have aspirations of being one of those top two teams to battle for a conference championship deep in the season.
3 receivers on the near side for Garassi. The snap, the give. Jefferson cuts to the outside, going to be stopped short of the first down by about 2 yards. And they're making the stop. You can give credit to Cage Dye, also in there. We've called his name before, Brody Zakovitz.
Yeah, right now Toledo continues to fly the football, but Wright State's just kind of pushing the right buttons right now. The fact they've had a little success, and right now maybe trying to get that running game going again. I think that was a game plan coming in. But, if they can establish that running game, I think that can set up some pass plays as this game unwinds.
We do have a couple of gifted backs, that's for sure, offensively. 3rd down and about 2. Ball marked at the 40. Garassi calls his own number. He gets to the 36, and he's stuffed.
Yeah, great job by Garassi. That's going to be enough for a first down. That time, Rockets in a corner blitz. They had the perfect call. They went with the quarterback draw, and Garassi's able to take it across the chains there. A little spotted on the 36-yard line. But again, look at that nice hole there up the middle. By the time the Rockets can get a hand on him, he's already past the chains.
Xavier Woldridge in there making the stop. 2 receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side. Garassi in the backfield, flanked on the right side by Jefferson. Jefferson gets it, finds the opening, off tackle, straight ahead, flags everywhere, and he gets to the 30-yard line. You get 5 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry. That's positive movement.
Yeah, another nifty run there. They're starting to open up some holes there with that big offensive line of the Raiders. Looks like we're going to have a face mask on the Rockets.
And that's really the first real serious penalty that I've seen called against the Rockets tonight. You can't have face masks anywhere.
Yeah, they've had a few ineligible receivers. They've had an offsides, a false start, but that one's going to hurt right there. That's going to be 15 yards tacked on to the end. And by the time the ball is spotted, it'll be first down at the 15-yard line. So Wright State, with their best penetration tonight, gets the ball in the red zone here where they'll have a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 35. New back gets upended.
A nice job by Adnan Dari once again. The Northview High School graduate. Watch him come in right here. Just no yak yards behind. He just kind of grabs him midair, throws him backwards. Well, that's a big stop for no gain. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 15.
.321 left in the half.
All right, Rocky fans, keep that in. It brings up 2nd down.
The new running back for the moment is Peyton Gatliff. Garassi keeps it himself, changes directions, and runs right into the long arm.
Keeper on the run, brought down by number 69.
Into the long arms of Adari Dan.
Yeah, great job again from Dari. Coming up with the big stop there after a short gain of 2 yards. So right now this Rocket defense starting to bow their neck a little bit here as they're backed up to the goal line. Huge 3rd down coming up, which certainly would be 4-down territory here for the Raiders.
Raiders will get the football back in the second half, so even making this even more urgent for the Rockets. 2:14. Over the middle, almost almost intercepted, incomplete. And they're breaking it up is Kyle Storer.
Great job by Storer. That time he was in the perfect position. You'll see it right here. And again, great pressure up front there, getting the hands up. And that one, boy, just off the edge there. Again, tremendous play by Storer and company. And now here it is, a fourth down. With a strong kicking game, Wright State looks like they will take the 3 points here.
Raiders to attempt the field goal.
Zokel Galvin. This one would be a 30-yarder. It is up, and it continues to sail. Hits the net right in front of the video. And it is now a 13-3 game. We take the timeout. 2 minutes remaining in the half. This is club football on BCSN.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests in our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
We welcome you back. Sports Nightly is your source for local sports 365 days a year. Mark, Carlin, Cole, and Joel have you covered. Stories, highlights, interviews every night at 10:30 on BCSN and the BCSN Now app. Toledo will get the football back. 2 minutes to work. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to be precise. Galvin will kick it away.
And give Wright State offense coordinator Chase Manziel a lot of credit. He's had to make a lot of adjustments here in the first half, but their offense here in the second quarter has moved the football. They haven't always finished drives, but they're starting to find some success. Remember, this is a Toledo football defense that's expected to be one of the tops in the country, so we'll see what else Coach Manziel has up his sleeve in the second half. But I think all this coaching staff for Wright State played club football for the Raiders back in the day.
Ball picked up at the 32 and will be brought down at the 32. Try to get something set up. Did not get going very far to Corey Anderson. And by the way, Chase Manziel, wasn't that like the slogan of most of the teams in college football back in the days of Johnny Football?
That was. They were chasing Manziel a lot.
First and 10, ball at the 32. Skip, as we look straight across to that big scoreboard, the live action going on. I mean, if you're a club football player seeing that, that's got to be huge.
It's unbelievable. The video board here at Glass Bowl, nothing like it. And right now, Toledo gets that incomplete pass. So looking at 2nd and 10, and just under the 2-minute mark. Wright State would love to have one more opportunity here in this first half.
Motter back pedals on the run, tries to thread the needle. Incomplete, intended for Glowski.
That's just a tremendous effort there from Jack Glowski. You'll see it right here. He knows exactly where the sideline is. Ball is going to be thrown upstairs, but watch the effort here. He goes up high there, was able to get that left foot in, but he just could not corral it. But wow, he's a fun guy to watch out there. Loves his football.
Minute 52 Toledo would love to get some movement on the football here, get some points on the board to nullify that score, especially with Wright State getting the football back. Motter on the run, leading his offense. Throws down the sideline, incomplete. Trying to lead Love down the sideline, but not able to make the connection. And in all fairness, overshot him. But, again, that's a product of being...
Well, I think that's a really good play by Motter. You know, that time he was flushed out of the pocket. You don't want to take the sack. You really don't want to risk a turnover. So that time I think he just put a lot of air underneath it, threw it out of bounds. And again, as much as you know he wants to make a play, that was the right play to be had there. And even though Toledo will punt the football away, just a minute 44 to work with here for the Raiders against this stout Toledo defense.
Matthew Holt to kick it away. I believe this is the first Toledo punt of the night. Second punt. And that one was kind of a chip shot, lands at the 50.
Yeah, so it's going to be a short punt, and Wright State here with $1:35 to go will certainly have an opportunity to make this a one-score game.
And, you know, could change the complexion of the game mightily. They get any type of score here. Remember, they get the football back, as we've talked about.
And also remember, Galvin has a strong foot. You know, we saw him hit that 30-yard field goal, and it looked like that had been good from 50. And, again, we talked about how he's one of the top kickers and punters in the nation here as far as club football. So right now, you know, they'd love to get maybe 30 yards here, 25, 30 yards, give himself an opportunity to kick the field goal and make this a one-touchdown game.
Almost intercepted.
Wow, that time Daniel Mensah, he reads this like a book. Watch it right here. They're going to try to throw a quick comeback route here to the outside, but to look at the jump of the football by Mensah, and wow, he was looking at a lot of green pasture ahead. Fortunately for Wright State, that falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. Ball still spotted right on the 50-yard line.
90 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Wright State at the 50-yard line with the foot of Galvin. Anything could happen. And they're going to say incomplete. So Storer dancing around.
Now, Storer saying, take a look at the video board there. He's claiming he had the football. I think he's trying to sell that. But again, tremendous effort by Storer, who's been all over the field here tonight. Watch it right here. You be the judge here. Storer's the only guy in the vicinity right here. And look at it. Did he get his hands underneath it? And wow, I think he might have a beef there. But again, pretty hard to overturn that call for sure.
Right, inconclusive, not a direct angle.
Yeah, no question. You know, and let me correct the officials got it right, but certainly I can see why Kyle Storer is trying to sell that as an interception.
Well, you know, his elbow was on the ground, so there is a case to be made, but the pass complete.
Nice catch. Number 2.
Get it to about the 46-yard line. But again, you can't make a call unless you're absolutely certain of it. That's how all officials in any sport are made.
Yeah, that will bring up 4th down here now for Wright State. And with the clock at 1 minute right now, they have the offense out there going for it here on 4th down and 7.
Well out of the range of Galvin, I'm assuming. Incomplete, and that one was intended for Swanson.
Whoa, that was awfully close. Swanson got behind the entire Toledo secondary. And unfortunately, Garassi just did not put enough air underneath that football, or else Wright State was heading to the end zone.
So a flag going against Wright State. And I believe that simply will be declined. Offense is coming on the field, so that certainly is the case.
Yeah, good stop there by that Rocket defense. You know, they bent on that drive a little bit before, you know, gave up the field goal, but that time After Wright State had great starting position on the 50, they forced the loss of downs. And now Toledo will have 46 seconds to work with. And there you see Brandon Motter, who would love to drive that offense. And that's going to be a post-possession penalty.
Whoa.
And that's going to be the 15-yard variety. So that's going to take the ball all the way into Wright State territory. It should be spotted about the 38-yard line once the officials get the football from the sideline.
And with this passing game that Toledo can push a button on at any given moment, this makes things very, very interesting.
And this is huge right here. Toledo can really put a hurt on Wright State right here. And Wright State, again, you mentioned it, Dean, they get the football to start the second half. So if they can get a hold here, they've got a little momentum on their side. And, again, just a 10-point game right now.
Incomplete. Intended for Cartledge. First down and second down and 10. And at least in that one, it didn't take up a lot of time and the clock got stopped.
Yeah, and again, both these teams have really gone upstairs. So this has been a lengthy first half. Just the fact we've had so many times where the clock has been stopped. And right now, Wright State comes up big on first down. Rockets looking at 2nd and 10 here.
Two receivers on each side. Byers in the backfield, flanking Motter on his right side at the hip. The snap. Stepping up, Motter goes to his left. Throws on the run and looking for Mensah. Incomplete, out of bounds. Clock stopped at 35 seconds. It brings up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, once again, great coverage by Wright State. They've got that extra defensive back in there, and really, they've done a nice job of trying to get some coverage sacks where Motter has just not had a lot of guys with any separation to throw to. So 3rd down and 10 now coming up.
Mensah and Diaz to the far side. Two other receivers on the near side. Byers picks up the block. Motter on the run. Back in his own side of the field. Down the sideline. Runs out of bounds short of the 41. They're going to put him at the 40. And it brings up 4th down and about 6.
That's a smart play there by Motter. No one was there, but I love how he's able to avoid the rush. Didn't have to throw the football away. And then was able to step out of bounds to stop the clock. And both teams still have all 3 timeouts remaining. And I think Toledo may elect to take one right here.
We will take the timeout as well. 27 seconds before halftime. This is Toledo Rockets Club Football. The Rockets up 13-3 on BCSN.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo? Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
That's a huge pickup. Excellent job that time on 4th down and long. They're able to find Mensah there on that left side. Just kind of an out route there deep. He knew where the chains were at. Then he wisely steps out of bounds to stop the clock.
1st and 10 from the 22. Motter on the sideline. That one incomplete, stopping the clock. That was intended for Diaz. Diaz got things going with the touchdown at the 9:22 mark.
Nice job by Joshua Randall there, the DB, coming up to make a nice stick there, not allowing the catch. Just 4 seconds go off the clock. So right now, Toledo has 15 seconds to work with.
At the 22-yard line, Byers off to the right side, ready to pick up a block, and he got a big one right there. Motter works free. And complete to Mensah again to the 10-yard line. Good for the first down. And again, Byers bought him just enough time to get free.
He really did. And watch it right here. He does an excellent job after the catch of getting out of bounds to stop the clock with 3 seconds left. Wow. And Toledo will burn what will be the last time out of the first half here with just 3 seconds to go. The Rockets now with the decision. Do they kick the 3 or do they go for it here? At first down, ball about on the 11-yard line.
Start your morning off with sports. The X's and Bros Show with Anthony Bellino. Local, regional, and national sports topics on your TV. X's and Bros. Every week, every morning every weekday, from 6 to 9 on BCSN and the BCSN Now app. Well, it certainly looks like they're going to roll the dice. Byers on the right side of Motter, the only men in the backfield. 2 receivers wide to the right side, another 2 on the far side. And they're going to put 5 seconds on the clock. Probably academic, but we do have 2 more seconds. 1st and 10. 1st and goal to go, I should say. Motter working free. He will go down, and that will expire the first half.
But what a play by Peyton Gatliff. The sophomore from Springsboro comes up with a big sack that ends the half.
We go to halftime. Toledo leading 13-3. This is Toledo Rocket Club football on BCSN.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately only 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
When you're injured in a car accident, handling all the pieces can be overwhelming. There are hospital bills, lost wages, let alone insurance companies calling nonstop pressuring you. When injured in an accident, you are not alone. We have the experience to handle all the pieces of your car accident, so you don't have to. Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. We're on your side.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall.
Call us. We can help.
We are back. Halftime here. Toledo leading Wright State 13-3. Dean Jackson along with Scoop Miller. Great to be here at the Glass Bowl on a Sunday night. And I'll tell you what a great night for football.
It really has been. Toledo's able to strike first, able to get plenty of good yardage. There you see a nice catch there on the out route.
I believe that was...
No, it was not. That was Jalen Love there, I believe, on that catch. This is going to be that unbelievable grab there by Merced Diaz there in the back corner of the end zone. That's a fantastic catch. That was just the second possession of the night for the Rockets. They came up with 7 points for an early lead. There you're going to see a nice interception that time from the Rockets there on that deep ball once again. And then they come right back. Something they did a lot here in the first half, Dean. They got the ball in the flats, and there you see Byers making a nice run after the catch, and the Rockets were in business one more time.
And I think Byers kind of kick-started things a little bit when there was kind of a slowdown in the offense, as we see like with this play.
Yeah, that's a nifty run right there. He had no business getting 23 yards on that play, but he did. and that's going to set up the touchdown pass to Mensa there. And again, another well-thrown ball there from Brandon Motter, right where it had to be. And the Rockets came up big there. That's really been the scoring as the Rockets take a 13-3 advantage after the opening 30 minutes.
We will take this break. Toledo 13, Wright State 0. It's halftime here at the Glass Bowl. Club football action on BCSN.
It's time.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
I told my mom when I grow up I want to work at Chick-fil-A.
I posted to social media, and we found it. We reached out to Brianna to bring him in to be my little buddy for the morning.
He was super excited. He said yes.
I think there was a happy dance. I showed him what a day in the life of a Chick-fil-A employee looks like.
Spending the day at Chick-fil-A was a dream come true for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo. Gracias. Thank you. What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
It's time.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Michael was a loving father and husband. He was a tow truck driver who was killed on the side of a highway by a distracted semi-truck driver. His wife and daughters were devastated. They were dealing with the sudden loss of their loved one while being pressured by insurance companies to settle. We went to work immediately to take care of all legal issues to allow them to focus on rebuilding their lives. They needed an experienced legal team that handles these complex cases.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall. Call us. We can help.
Roll into Midas this summer for $100 off a set of new tires. Unlike most other tire shops, Midas will make sure your new tires last their longest with precision balancing and alignment. For $100 off new tires, request your appointment today at Midas.com.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that's truly the best at being central to life. It's a place rooted in its strong focus on college prep curriculum and academics in the classroom that is central to success to so many. Come discover that special place, Central Catholic High School. Central to life, central to academics.
Roll into Midas this summer for $100 off a set of new tires. Unlike most other tire shops, Midas will make sure your new tires last their longest with precision balancing and alignment. For $100 off new tires, request your appointment today at Midas.com.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Hey, I'm Elizabeth, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the collab of flavors. The sweet honey, the pickled jalapeno peppers, and the creamy pimento cheese. It is a perfect bite.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the richness of the pimento cheese. When I took a first bite, I was like, go, go, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go chicken, go, go, go get it.
One of the biggest...
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
mijo.
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
The new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Punch down time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Every year, over 100,000 commercial vehicles are involved in accidents, resulting in thousands of deaths and serious injuries. The injuries are severe, the cases are complicated, the insurance companies are sophisticated. Let us deal with the insurance companies so you can focus on healing. You need an experienced legal team that handles these complex cases and that can protect you.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall.
Call us. We can help.
Welcome back to the Glass Bowl. Dean Jackson along with Scoop Miller. It is halftime here. Well, the final seconds of the halftime. Toledo on top 13-3. And it has been an interesting game. The Rockets sputtered just a little bit in the first half. We started to see some glimpses of just the prowess that this team has, able to light it up. And like I said, Scoop, I expect this aerial attack to launch in the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
It's going to be interesting to see what adjustments each team makes. I think Nolan Jackson, defense coordinator for Wright State, is really going to have to kind of pick his poison here. We've seen what Brandon Motter can do. He's got a lot of different weapons to throw to, but we also saw the running game get untracked a little bit, so he's got to find that happy balance there. He's got to get pressure on Motter, but yet he has to find a way to keep things in check as his team already trails by 10 points here at the break.
Scoop, as I look at other teams in this National Collegiate Football Association, or the National Club Football Association, I should say, there's not a lot of running backs. At least there's not a lot of high yardage running backs. So if you get some run game established in this league, you could really be a dangerous team.
Well, you're right. I think it's so important. You have to be, multi-dimensional. There's so many different solid defensive schemes out there. I mean, Toledo, they've been hyped up to be one of the top defenses coming into club football in the nation this season, and they've lived up to it here, keeping Wright State out of the end zone. But meanwhile, as we mentioned, Nolan Jackson, the defense coordinator for Wright State, he's a guy that was a 3-time All-American for Wright State club football. He knows a little thing about defense or two, so they also have a very good defense. The fact that they held Ohio State under 50 points, I think, speaks volumes, because the Ohio State offense the last 3 seasons has just been prolific. That's a team that can put 60, 70 points on the board against anybody. And they did a good job of keeping them in check, but they've been doing a great job here. After Toledo on their first 2 drives really drove the football, I think the Wright State defense has really done some great things from that point on.
Skip, do you think that we've seen the Rockets be conservative early on?
I think they go back to trying to get the ball out of Brandon Motter's hands quickly. out into the flats, maybe some of those quick slant routes, try to get some confidence there, and then mix in and run a little bit there with Byers where they had some success. So, again, it's going to be interesting to see how these things play out because I think both teams need to make a few adjustments here because both these teams certainly in a hunt. This is the big game as far as the Great Lakes division. You know, face it, Ohio State certainly is going to be picked number one, but the fight for second is right here in the field between these two universities.
The high end over end kick. Fielded inside the 25, off to the right side to the 40-yard line, and finally will be slowed down, and Wright State will take over after their turn from Jackson Smith. Smith has seen action on defense. He's played a little bit of offense, as most of the guys on all these teams do.
Well, you're right. And that's another thing that's going to kind of play in the second half. You know, remember, these are 15-minute quarters, 60-minute games, and so many guys on both sides of the field tonight are playing on both sides of the football. So it'd be interesting to see how much gas is in the tank here as the thing winds out. But I think this is an awfully big possession, even though it's just the first one of the second half. Wright State has to find a way to move the chains early, get some confidence, get some momentum here, and try to make this a one-score game here early in the second half.
Jefferson brought down short of the 40-yard line and maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And another injury in this game that is certainly added to the length of the game. Scoop, is this a sign of anything unusual about this game or the way that club football is played that we have?
Well, remember, you have two teams that are really heavy hitting on the defensive side of things. I think that's going to come play. But then you factor in how many of these guys are going both ways, playing offense and defense. And then you have to remember, too, in club football, these guys aren't practicing 6 days a week. These guys are kind of relegated 2-3 times a week. So you get a little bit more of this. Tonight, I think it's been unusually high just because of physicality from both sides here this evening.
And the other thing, too, is they don't get to go to the trainer every single time, every single day, multiple times a day.
Well, that's a good point. And also, your pregame's going to be a little bit different. You know, these guys aren't coming in the night before, and, they're coming in a couple hours before game time, lacing things up. They're out here on the turf. But, again, that's what you have to love about club football. These guys love to get at it, love to put on the pads one more time, as they say.
Jefferson squirts through the hole, gets to the 43, and smacked immediately. That was actually Gatlett, excuse me, but he was met immediately. A short gain, third down, and what I will call a 6 as we move to the 13:53 mark.
Yeah, nice job by Kyle Storr filling up the gap there one more time, making some good contact there. He had a little help from number 30, who has eluded my roster. But, again, a good pressure by Toledo and a huge third down coming up here for Wright State, trying to move the chain, something that did not happen in the first half until midway through that second quarter.
Number 30 is the man simply known as Clay, like an Old West villain. Brought down Garassi, and
yeah, that time Jelani Cloud, that time the fourth-year senior out of Tallahassee, Florida, comes in for the tackle. Watch it right here. This time blocking breaks down, but what a play right there coming in. That's going to be a huge sack, and Wright State's going to be forced to punt the football as that Toledo Rockets come out and get the quick 3-and-out. There you see Cloud right there. He's got to be on cloud 9 after that big-time sack there in third down. Uh-oh. This one's going to sail over Galvin, and Galvin has to snake it at the 8-yard line. So golden opportunity here for the Rockets. I think that time Galvin might have been smart just to punt that football out of the end zone. And with the score being 10 points, I think that 2-point swing is not going to be as critical. But now the Rockets, with the touchdown here, can make this a 3-score game.
The Rockets are literally licking their chops at basically feet away from the goal mouth inside the 10. First and goal to go, just short of the 9-yard line.
Now, this is where you have to take advantage. Your defense stepped up. Your special teams made a play for you. Now the offense has to do their job. And that's going to be a fumble, and Wright State has it. So Wright State, instead of hanging their heads, they came out, they execute the next play. They got great penetration, forced the fumble. And, wow, that's going to hurt there. Turnover in the red zone. Big play by this Wright State defense. You see it right there. Looks like Peyton Gatliff, the sophomore out of Springboro, Ohio, snares the football. What a play there. And, again, you can't say enough, I think, about both these teams' defenses, Dean. They certainly came in with a lot of recognition, and they're living up to the hype here tonight.
1st and 10. So what a difference a couple plays make. At the 18-yard line, Wright State breathing a bit easier. Garasi takes the snap. Incomplete. Intended for Swanson. In there to break it up. It sure looked like that was Evan Leach.
Yeah, Swanson's a guy they'd love to get involved, the 6'4" wide receiver. You know, he played Division I football at Youngstown State. He had 8 receptions against Ohio State a week ago, 117 yards, had a long of 33. That time they tried a vertical route there. They had him one-on-one. But great coverage again by the secondary of Toledo. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. That was almost Tom Duncan-like coverage there in the secondary, Dean.
There's no question about that. Gatliff trying to get something going. No, that's Jefferson, and he gets stopped back at the 15-yard line. A loss of 3 yards.
Then once again, Toledo just flying to the football. You know, that time you saw Cage die and a host of other Rockets get there. But again, not allowing Wright State to go north and south. That time they're just kind of running laterally there. And even though he probably ran the football 30 yards, that's going to be a loss of about 4. So right now, defense needs to come up big one more time. You know, not just to get the football back, but to get the football back with excellent field position. And that's what we're looking at right now is the Raiders are pinned inside their own 15-yard line here on 3rd and long.
Raiders have a chance to make something happen, especially after it could have been really, really bad after that bad punt, or the bobbled punt, I should say, and they get it back, and now they're going to get pushed back even more. They'll put it back at about the 7.
Wow, that's going to hurt there as well, as now you talk about being off schedule. Ball is now resting inside the 10-yard line here of the Raiders.
Every bit of 20 yards, 3rd down and 20.
Now your playbook shrinks a little bit here on 3rd and 20, deep in your own territory, trailing by 10.
Coming up, firing on the sideline pattern, and UT patrolling down there again. Almost comes up with it. Now the PA announcer just said it's Clay Ham.
So watch it right here. Great job by the Rockets. They're able to slip in another defensive back there in the secondary on 3rd and long, and it pays off. As Ham was in perfect position there. Did not come up with the pick. But now the Raiders will punt the football away from their own end zone.
Mensah back at about his own 45. A high kick. Mensah will watch it bounce. He will backpedal. And he will be brought down back at his own 43.
Well, that's a nice play by Mensah. Again, he did not get a return, but what he did not do was let that ball roll for another 10, 12 yards. So good job by Mensah, but once again, Galvin comes up huge. We talked about how he's a potential preseason All-American. That time, 50-yard punt, no return. So big-time play by Galvin one more time here tonight. The Rockets will start out on their own 43.
First and 10 at the 43. 10:57 to play, third quarter. Split backfield. Motter gives it off. We have a new back. Down the sideline, cuts to the inside. We'll go back to the inside and finally brought to the 25-yard line. A big pickup by Buddha Love, or Jared Love if you prefer. I've got a roster that says Buddha.
That's going to be Jalen Love right there. Watch it right here. A little bit of the timing was disrupted, but I think that's what kind of threw off the defense. And there he's able to use his speed, cuts it back, makes one guy miss. Great job of found the block there. And again, nifty run. Nice block there, by the way, by Ja'Cory Anderson to get maybe 10 extra yards. So big play there by Toledo. They're knocking on the door. Fresh set of downs at the 26-yard line of Wright State.
Love cuts across again, going against the grain. Will be brought down inside the 25. Will go at about the 24. That's going to be about a 2-yard pickup.
Great move by the freshman out of Columbus. Look how he cuts it back against the grain and then's able to kind of slip a tackle. But again, not before being brought down there. Pretty good looking hit there by Fat Boy Johnson one more time.
Greatest name ever. So which would you rather be? Boy named Sue or be called Fat Man?
That's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
I mean, you're going to spend your whole childhood working not to get out of shape with a name like Fat Man. The pitch over to Byers, shake and bake to the 25, wrestled out. It looked like a high tackle. You see that his jersey was kind of tugged off to the side a little bit too, but no call for a high tackle. Just my opinion.
Watch it right here. They go with the quick pitch here to the short side, but he's able to get a lot of jersey there. Nearly a horse collar, but in fact, he did have some of the number in the hand there. I think that's a good no call. So 3rd down and 9 coming up for Toledo. And what you think would probably be 4-down territory here for the Rockets.
Diaz and Mensah on the far side. One man lined up in the slot, split backfield. Motter comes out, goes to the right side, will change direction. The rush is on and throws it away. A wise play with the oncoming rush from William Gleason. Gleason had the type of speed that it looked like for every step he was moving about 5 feet.
Yeah, that time we saw it there. Motter just kind of running for his life. But yeah, I'd like to see him maybe use his legs a little bit more. That time he made a smart decision. That was going to be a coverage sack. He was able to avoid the sack, got to the flats there, alertly threw it out of bounds. Going to bring up a 4th down and 9 here for Toledo, who looks to be going for it.
Shotgun formation again. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Ball at about the 25. Motter stays in the pocket, right into the end zone, into the hands. Waltzing right in, a perfectly thrown aerial.
Nice job by Ja'Cory Anderson. A nice route there, just a quick go route that time. But what a perfectly thrown ball there out of the junior Brandon Motter. Again, great execution. You got to love it there as the freshman Anderson comes up big there as he just kind of runs a streak there down that left sideline. What a pitch and catch there by Toledo. They strike first here in the second half and get some much-needed separation here against this Wright State defense. It's really played awfully well since the opening 2 drives of this game.
Anderson striding into the end zone, just puts his hands up, extends. Motter knew he was going to be there. Just a game of pitch and catch, as they say. Motter going for 2, crossed the end zone, and it looked like it was snagged, and it was. So it remains 19-3, 9:07 to play in the third quarter. Toledo goes up 19-3 on BCSN.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests in our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
We're back. Beautiful shot of the moon peeking down over the glass bowl. Rockets set to kick it away. They've got a 16-point lead. And as I said, Scoop, I think we're going to start seeing more of those type connections coming from Mater.
Yeah, that was a perfectly thrown ball and a great catch that time by Ja'Cory Anderson, who caught that in stride. And now Wright State has their work cut out. But remember, with that mixed extra point, still just a 2-possession game. If the Raiders can get a couple touchdowns and a couple 2-point conversions, they can knock the things out. So certainly not out of the woods yet, but that drive certainly put the dampers on Wright State. But the offense now has to come out clicking here against this Rocket defense that's been awfully solid, keeping Wright State out of the end zone to this juncture.
1st and 10, ball marked at about the 37. 8:59 remaining in the third quarter. Garasi incomplete.
Quarterback pass twice out of incomplete. It's into the corner 0.
Yeah, right now, the Toledo defense doing such a great job of controlling first down. You know, so many times here tonight, Wright State finds himself at 2nd and 10, 2nd and 12, and again, just not able to stay on schedule. So something you really have to do against this Rocket defense that comes in after a season last year where they gave up just 18.8 points a game, and this defense looks to be even better than what we saw a year ago.
Scoop, I believe the quarterback is Jesse Tipton. He's not on the roster, but he wears number 10.
Well, Tipton's a freshman who got some reps last week against Ohio State. That one just a little bit overthrown and looked like the Rockets are going to have an opportunity. Good effort that time by DeAndre Cartage. You're going to see it right here coming up. You're going to see him step in the pocket there, Jesse Tipton. And again, just off the fingertips there, but again, well defense there once again by Toledo. You know, last week Tipton against Ohio State, he split time with Garasi. He was 9 for 12 through an interception, had 141 yards, had a quarterback rating of 157. So he did put up some decent numbers against the Buckeyes.
Folks, we apologize for that error, but that's the world of club football. Sometimes you don't get the information. And then, of course, as we start to analyze it, it looks perfectly makes sense. Tipton is on the roster with no number. He has played the majority of the game tonight. He played the majority of the game against Ohio State, or at least a significant portion of it.
Yeah, Grassi was 5 for 7 last week against Ohio State. He had a quarterback rated at 123, so they definitely have a couple solid options back there at quarterback. But, again, the Toledo defense forces another 3 and out, and there's another high snap. In trouble for the Raiders as once again Galvin has to snake the football inside his own 15-yard line. So special teams play really starting to come into effect here. And there you're going to see it. Great job again by Toledo. And their offense now can really put a hurt here on this Wright State team as they're already up 16 looking for more.
How hard is it to be a long snapper?
The tough thing about being a long snapper, you usually only get your name mentioned when you screw up. Those are the guys that do all the dirty work. You assume everything's going to go as scheduled. But again, especially in club football where you don't get as many reps, it's going to start playing into things. And 2 errant snaps tonight off the punt. This time, Wright State really has to bow their neck one more time as the Rockets are knocking on the door in the red zone.
At the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Glosky goes in motion. He is the receiver inside the 5. He will go out of bounds near the 3.
Well, there's that Northview connection one more time. Brandon Motter to Jack Glosky. And again, Glosky has such great hands. Watch it here on the replay. There you see Glosky kind of coming in motion there, just kind of slips behind the wide receiver. Takes it all the way inside the 5-yard line. They'll spot at the 3. 1st and goal coming up here for Toledo.
Motter has such rapport with his receivers, but perhaps none better than Glosky. They have known each other since they were kids, since the first time they put on shoulder pads, probably.
Yeah, Glosky, again, as we said before, 2nd-team All-American last year from his tight end position, and certainly off to a great start this year as well.
Motter has time. The diving catch. It is a touchdown. Diaz with his 2nd touchdown of the game. That one a 3-yarder, and it is now 25-3.
Wow, that's a big-time catch by Diaz. He had to completely lay out. Watch it here coming up on a replay. Once again, just a quick 3-step drop by Motter, but look at that ball. You talk about having some stickum there on the fingers. Somehow that thing was on the edge of his fingers, and he pulled that thing in. Wow, what a big-time catch by Diaz. And the Rockets now have exploded here in this 3rd quarter, up 22. Looking to add on 2 more here with the point after.
A 20-yarder and a 3-yarder right there. He has 2 touchdown receptions tonight. Over the middle, it looked like Motter may have been trying to get it to Diaz there, but comes up short. The score remains 25-3, 8:28 to play 3rd quarter. UT on top on BCSN.
Floodwaters continue to rise, thousands are left destitute. We already see major fire spread. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed by the wildfires, which continue to blaze. The storm barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-per-hour winds. Utter devastation. Now search and rescue efforts. Across the country, disasters have left many in need of emergency shelter.
You can help those impacted by disasters, big and small. Give now.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
Wright State with the football, returning out to about the 35, met by a pair of Rocket defenders. The return man getting it out. There is Joshua Randall.
Yeah, Randall, first-year freshman out of Tri-Village in New Madison, Ohio. Tried to get out to the edge, but again, tremendous special teams play by Toledo. You know, something that was kind of a point of emphasis, I thought, in the offseason for Toledo. I think they've shored that up here a little bit, and right now the Rockets looking good in all 3 phases here, off the commanding 25-3 advantage here as we approach the midway point of quarter 3.
Clock stopped as we get the offense set. 2 receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side. And another quarterback in there, I believe that is Swanson, and gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe. So we called the name of Swanson earlier. He's kind of a tight end, but actually has shown some interesting mobility for a tight end.
Well, that time, good pressure from Evan Leach. And, of course, Dari one more time as well. As, again, just really no place to go. Very fortunate that time he got back near the line of scrimmage. That looked like that might be a loss of maybe 4 or 5 on the play. But once again, second long coming up here for the Raiders, which has kind of been the theme of the night here for this Toledo defense.
Scoop, I think we're starting to see some new faces here on this offense, and we'll try to get you up to speed on who they are. Second down and 10. Swanson, kind of a lazy pass over the middle. Just kind of a textbook. Okay, let's get it done methodically. And that one is complete. Close to the first. It is a first down.
Yeah, that time Troy Anderson, the wide receiver, is able to just go on a quick slant there across the middle. And credit Swanson, who's gone from wide receiver to quarterback. But again, with his 6'4" frame, again, we mentioned how he's got D1 experience playing at Youngstown State. He comes in, delivers.
He kind of has a slow motion, no sense of urgency type of delivery. Just watch him. Here comes the flag on the play. And it looks like we may have a down lineman that moved over.
Yeah, that time looks like they're setting up offsides. They've really been kind of towing the line tonight, but I think they're going to get the defensive end for
That's
Toledo.
Exactly what I thought.
Lined up in the neutral zone. So, again, the good thing about those is those are very correctable mistakes. The bad thing is you just don't want to see those happen and maybe you don't want to ignite this offense that's really been held in check by this Rocket defense.
He still seems to be cheating on that line of scrimmage. Swanson complete the pass. The reception gets it out to the 45.
And right now, kind of going with that West Coast offense here. Wright State just trying to get the ball out to the flats here in a hurry. Try to get to your speed guys, those skill guys there. Try to get them to break a tackle. That's going to be a nice pickup there. Gets the ball down to the 46-yard line. The 2nd and 1 coming up here for the Raiders.
Four-man front. That end still seems to be cheating that line over there, Scoop. Straight ahead. Looked like he may have almost lost the football for a moment. There as Pittman plunges ahead.
Looks like they're going to spot him just maybe a football short of the first down. It's all going to depend on the spot here. Needs to get to the 47. The fact that the football kind of came out behind, he had to reach back for it. Going to make it 3rd down and short here coming up for Wright State.
You know, I saw on some message board, and I don't remember if it was social media or not, but there was a little bit of a movement. Someone trying to get Wright State to consider, you know, if you've got this much success in club football, why not start thinking D2?
Well, again, they've been an established program for a long time. The bad part for Wright State, they've been in the shadows of Ohio State, who's been in that same conference.
Swanson out to the 32, but a flag in the backfield. Again, almost always in the way that's probably somebody on the end that was just taking a little extra advantage of a hand.
Yeah, you have to think this is probably going to be a hold coming up, but there you see the referee, Mr. McDermott there with the signal. It is indeed a hold. But those are things that just really throw you off schedule. See if we can pick up the hold here on the replay. It does look like it's going to be the left end there. Number 71 there. Kind of an easy call right there. Dean, I know you officiate. I think you would have made that call.
I don't make a lot of calls because I'm still young and I'm not smart enough to anticipate things. And I don't make calls that I don't see. One of the things that I like to do, too, is I like to tell coaches, okay, your guy is doing this. He does it again. I'm going to call him. I mean, I certainly don't put those in pressure situations. But
yeah,
I mean,
fair enough. That's a fair warning.
Tell you a story in a moment. Swanson steps up on the run. Nicely done, scrambling out. And then rambling ahead to the 45.
There's that athleticism and really experience of Swanson. He's going to get the ball out to Ray Jefferson. But watch how he's able to extend the play here. And again, just kind of points this guy, hey, you got room up the sideline there. I'm going to dump it to you. And a good job checking down his receivers. And a big pickup there for Wright State. Trying to overcome that 15-yard holding penalty.
Second down and 2. 4:34. Clock stopped for the first down. Swanson just happy to do his thing, lets it fly. Open space in the backfield, incomplete. Both receivers really challenging for that and could not make the connection.
Well, watch it right here unfold. Great job again by Swanson. Doesn't panic, just steps out of the pocket there. But look at the closing speed coming in there from Evan Leach. What once was a open Raider receiver, Leach quickly takes that away. So a nice job by the freshman out of St. Francis.
Fun little battle down there between Leach and Van Dyne. Third down and about 2. Ball at the 45. Swanson. The steady Swanson. Ahead. Pushing it. Still live. And the massive humanity forces it ahead for the first down. That is nothing more than the sheer will of Wright State to make that happen.
Oh, that's a big-time run there. Looked like we were playing rugby there for a little bit as the pile just kind of kept moving toward the south end zone. Watch it right here. The nifty little run there. Great job of keeping the feet. And that's A.J. Allen, number 8 there of the Raiders. And that's a big first down as they're knocking on the door here. 34-yard line of the Rockets.
First time we have called his name. Swanson again. Dives straight ahead to about the 32. I'll tell you what, Swanson isn't necessarily flashy, but he is effective.
Yeah, he is. He's a guy, again, comes with a lot of football experience. And think about him. We've seen him. He's certainly multi-dimensional. He's a guy that you could probably throw in any position out there. There you see him trying to fire up his troops there, so to speak. That was a busted play. But I like how Swanson just took control there, put his head down, was able to pick up a couple yards there instead of taking the sack there. But again, that was a busted play from the get-go. One of those early season jitter things that you've seen here tonight a few times by both teams.
Second down and 9. Very demonstrative in that huddle, as you can see. Is now here comes some urgency. Tripped up, gets it inside to about the 34. And maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, that time he certainly felt the rush, so just kind of tucked it away. But Adnan Darby, one more time, the junior out of Northview High School, comes in and is able to record the tackle. Boy, he's been all over the field tonight, as he is just about every time out. Well, that's going to be a flag right there. That might be the easiest call tonight. That's going to be pass interference against Toledo, as they clocked one of their tight ends there downfield. Right now the official is going to discuss it. You'll see it here at about the 31-yard line. There you see the knockdown, and there you see the flag come in. Nice looking toss there from the side judge, whoever that was.
I just love Swanson's approach, though, Scoop. It's just like, all right, let's just come out here.
He's really nonchalant, but again, that's just that poise and calmness that he has. trying to direct the offense being thrown in there here in the third quarter as Wright State's been held out of the end zone all night. And there you see Jim McDermott with the call. Multiple infractions against Toledo. So they'll decline the pass interference. They'll accept the personal foul. So that'll be an automatic first down here for Wright State University. And now they are in the red zone here as the ball is being placed at the 19-yard line. So this is certainly one of those must drives, I think, for the Raiders. They have to not only get points on the board, they have to get this in the end zone, get a touchdown, get some momentum on their side of the field.
Swanson comes up firing, and immediately after the catch, down there, Mensa says, "Welcome to Toledo."
Wow, what a hit that time by the fifth-year senior out of West Versailles. Watch it right here. This is a textbook tackle. This might get you the nickname Headhunter out there. He comes in there and is able to wrap up, drive the guy back a couple yards. No yak yards to be had there.
There are some headhunters in the stands tonight, that's for sure. I believe that was a nickname given to your friend Tom Duncan.
I believe it was, and I'm hoping, Tom, I see him up here in the crowd here. I'm hoping I said that loud enough he's able to somehow hear it.
Wright State in great field position. I don't know that they have had better, and if they've had, I don't remember it. Swanson rolls out into the end zone. Nicely done. Coming up with it, and the extra dance there to sell it. It is now a 25-9 game. Swanson makes the connection with Pittman.
Oh, great job that time by Chad Swanson. Watch it right here again. Very calm and poised here. Rolls out just a little bit. Has to move now to avoid the sack, but look how he just drops a dime in there. And Carl Pittman, and there you see the Pittman shuffle there after the TD catch. And Wright State is in the end zone for the first time tonight.
25-9. Galvin in to try the point after. You know, and Scoop, again, with all due respect to Swanson, when you're watching him, you look like he's already in instant replay mode.
He puts you to sleep, so to speak, but again, he sees the field. You know, he's not panicked. When he has to be flushed out of the pocket, he keeps an eye on those receivers, is able to check down. Boy, that's a big-time play.
Swanson over the middle, bobbled in for, yep, got the score.
Wow, nice job there by Troy Anderson. He gets it off the deflection for the two-point conversion. We got a two-score game here at 25-11.
The most unusual football score that I can remember, 25-11. Wright State trying to make it a game. Toledo on top. We'll take the timeout. We will be back. This is BCSN.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
When you're injured in a car accident, handling all the pieces can be overwhelming. There are hospital bills, lost wages, let alone insurance companies calling nonstop pressuring you. When injured in an accident, you are not alone. We have the experience to handle all the pieces of your car accident, so you don't have to. Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. We're on your side.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall.
Call us. We can help.
We welcome you back. Wright State making it interesting, 25-11. And we just are here talking in the break about how Swanson just slowly, methodically did everything he had to do to lead that drive.
Yeah, that drive was all on Swanson. You know, that's something, he gave them a dimension they had been lacking. And here you're going to see a walk-off. I think we had a little bit of excessive celebration. I know there was some kind of unsportsmanlike penalty called after the touchdown.
Was that the Pittman shuffle?
It could have been the Pittman shuffle. It could have also been the ball spin there by Troy Anderson. He put a nice little twist to that football, had it standing on edge there in the end zone after that 2-point conversion. I think that's what it was actually called on. It might have been a little bit of chattering go with it, but either way, Rockets should inherit some really good field position here as the Raiders will kick off from their own 20-yard line.
Galvin going about his steps as he sets up for the onside and didn't go 10 yards, I don't believe.
It went 12 yards.
Oh, okay.
That was well executed. Remember, they kicked off from the 20, and he corralled that ball about the 30-yard line, fell down on the 32. But watch it right here, onside kick all the way. Is this something maybe he has a green light?
I tell you,
I think he has maybe the green light if he sees that the defense is 15, 20 yards back. But that was perfectly executed. Right now, the officials sorting it out. And I think you're right. The question is, did it go to 10 yards? Boy, from my vantage point, it certainly did. And they will rule it Wright State football. So, again, I like the call. Gutsy call. You know, when you have to kick from your own 20, that almost negates the possibility of an onside kick. And I think that's
right.
What Toledo's expected, because they really were not up there near that 30-yard line where the 10-yard spot would be.
Well, the onside kick is all about surprise. And in this era, the onside kick has become often used. There was a time when it was kind of just desperation in the last moments of the game. Now it's about possession and changing the pace of a game. Swanson throws across the body, incomplete.
And credit the freshman once again, Galvin out of Findlay. And that's just a great play, well executed. We talked about him being a great kickoff specialist, a punter, a guy that's got plenty of legs as a field goal kicker as well. That time, just a very cerebral play there on the onside kick. And a lot of guys make the mistake, Dean. They touch that before it goes 10 yards. He made sure the ball had cleared the 30 before he got a paw on it. And right now, Wright State trying to make this a one-score game here after they're able to get the touchdown and 2-point conversion to cut the 14. They have 52 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. They do have momentum on their side of the field.
Scoop, I heard a football coach tell me there's like 24 different ways you can do an onside kick. Lofts it over to Jefferson. He will get it to about the 38. Final 45 seconds of the third quarter.
There's probably that many ways to throw a quick swing pass, and that's exactly what Swanson was able to do right there. And again, nothing fancy. Just getting the ball out to the flats right away, letting your athletes make plays. Again, a nice pickup there. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 here, as this could possibly be the last play of quarter 3. Or that may have possibly been the last play. Looks like they're in no hurry to snap the football.
Well, Swanson is never in a hurry. Let's make that clear. We'll take the break. We will be back. Toledo 25, Wright State 11. We'll be back for the fourth quarter right after this.
And as floodwaters continue to rise, thousands are left destitute. We already see major fire spread. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed by the wildfires, which continue to blaze. The storm barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-per-hour winds. Utter devastation. Now search and rescue efforts. Across the country, disasters have left many in need of emergency shelter.
You can help those impacted by disasters, big and small. Give now.
Tell my mom, when I grow up, I want to work at Chick-fil-A.
I
post it to social media. And we found it. We reached out to Brianna to bring him in to be my little buddy for the morning.
He was super excited. He said yes.
I think there was a happy dance. I showed him what a day in the life of a Chick-fil-A employee looks like.
Spending the day at Chick-fil-A was a dream come true for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
We are back. 15 minutes put on the clock. The final quarter, at least, of regulation. Wright State with the football. And I'll tell you what, this is a team that is highly motivated if they are not highly paced. The ever steady Swanson at quarterback launches into a Chad Swanson, lets it fly. Orloff comes up with the interception, and we have an injured Wright State player back at the 31.
Now, DJ Ornliff, for the second time tonight, comes up with the pick.
Let's take this break while they tend to the player. 14:50 to play. Here in the fourth quarter, Toledo up 25-11. They'll get the football back at about the 31. This is club football on BCSN.
Take the ball. Take the ball.
I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
We welcome you back, 25-11. Let's take a look at that replay.
What a great way to start off the fourth quarter here for this Rocket defense. Watch DJ Ornliff, number 5 here, in perfect position, times it well, goes up, makes his second interception of the night. Is able to return it for maybe a short game before getting clothesline. But again, that's a big turnover there by Wright State. Just when it looked like the Raiders might have a chance to make this a one-score game, Ornliff comes up huge.
Byers streaks down the sideline out of near the first down, goes out of bounds.
Well, I love how Toledo continues to really mix things up offensively and just not letting Wright State load up too much in the box or in the secondary. And that time, a nice run once again by Reggie Byers. Picks up 6 yards on first down. So the Rockets continue to control first down on both sides of the football here tonight.
2nd down and 4. Motter comes up firing. Stepping across to about the 46. And that will be good for the first down. The pass is complete to Mazerat. We have not called his name, Luke Mazerat, since the first quarter, and they're going to put him at the 47.
Yeah, look at Mazerat right here. Does a nice job of reaching back for the football. Is able to make one guy miss, a second guy miss. He's able to fall forward there to the 47-yard line of Toledo. So another first down here for the Rockets on the move after the Ornliff interception.
Do you think he ever gets called Maserati?
Could see it.
Motter steps up to the left on the run. Mensah comes up with it. That is one of those plays in the first half they would not have made.
Yeah, tremendous job. You can see Motter kind of growing up before our eyes right here. Does a nice job here, extending the play, was able to avoid the sack there. But look how he continues to look at the receivers, and that time he drops a dime there, throwing on the run. And another first down for Toledo as they have the ball at the 31-yard line of the Raiders, trying to get back to that 3-score advantage.
25-11, 13:45 ticking down in the fourth quarter. Just outside the red zone at the 30. Motter comes up firing again, goes to the left side. Nobody there, incomplete.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that pass right there. You know, that time everybody wasn't on the same page, but instead of taking a sack, getting off schedule, he's able to get rid of the football. You know, no chance for an interception on that. So it's just going to be an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 coming up here.
Ball at the 32-yard line. Byers on the right side. Motter. Man going in motion. It's Mazerat. And complete near the 15-yard line. Mensah a little slow getting up.
Yeah, nice job. This time they flood the right side here. You see the motion man out there with trips as well. But there you're going to see Mensah there on the square end route there. Well thrown ball. Nice pitch and catch one more time. And now the Rockets have it in the red zone with a fresh set of downs at the 16-yard line of Wright State.
Mensah taking himself out of the game for a moment. Suffered some type of lower leg ailment. I'm not going to say an injury, but some type of situation. Doesn't look overly serious, but he's not in the game at the moment. 1st and 10 near the 15. Motter back to pass. Rolling out to the left side. Walks down the sideline and will step out about a couple yards past the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's starting to use his legs here a little bit more here in the second half. You know, he's not a serious run threat at this juncture in the season. But again, he has that knack to avoid the rush and avoid the sack. That time he's able to extend the play and try to get to that edge there before being forced out of bounds.
And in fairness, I don't know that Motter isn't a scrambler. I just think he knows what's at stake.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to be the guy back there. I mean, he wants to be the guy that's taking all the reps this season. I don't think he wants to be a guy that's going to be maybe splitting time back there. So I know he's concerned about being healthy. Again, he's an athlete out there. He's got a very good IQ out there. Needs to take advantage of it.
Flag on the play. Intended for Mensah. Incomplete. That is coming near the line on the left side. So possibly some type of offsides, some type of encroachment.
Yeah, it's going to be a false start, looks like, here against the Rockets. And that will be declined, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and call it 11 from a 17-yard line here of the Raiders. And certainly there's going to be a reason to come back to practice next week here for Toledo. The fact that, you know, they have some penalties that they have to clean up a little bit. We've seen the timing of a few plays not quite where it needs to be, but all in all, have to be a high grade tonight here for Toledo in all 3 phases of this game.
Complete to Mazerat inside the 15, jukes inside the 5, and it looks like he's going to go right in.
Wow, impressive run there by Luke Mazerat there that time. He's able to kind of get the ball there on the screen there to the outside, but I love how he's able to cut it back. Watch it right here. Here you're going to see him kind of pull there from the tight end position on the left side. And look at the pulling lineman. Great job executing the screen. And right here he cuts it back. by the time the Raiders can make the adjustment, there you see Mazerat dive into the end zone. Impressive run there after the catch. And now Toledo back up by 20 again.
There's a 16-yard pass that really was all of about a 15-yard run.
Yeah, another excellent call. I love the play design there. Not many times so you're pulling the backside tight end there for a screen pass.
Toledo going for 2. Motter comes up firing. Mensah. And it is now 33-11. A 22-point lead. 12:24 to play, fourth quarter. Rockets on top. You're watching Toledo Club Football on BCSN.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Every year, over 100,000 commercial vehicles are involved in accidents, resulting in thousands of deaths and serious injuries. The injuries are severe, the cases are complicated, the insurance companies are sophisticated. Let us deal with the insurance companies so you can focus on healing. You need an experienced legal team that handles these complex cases and that can protect you.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall. Call us. We can help.
We are back. Miranda will boot it. Fielded it and bobbled, picks it back up, changes direction and upended at the 27-yard line. Jeffries and Wright State will take over 33-21 with just a little more than 12 minutes remaining in this one.
And right now, the Rockets, I like the enthusiasm I'm seeing on their sideline right now. And again, they're getting great efforts from the special teams as well. That time, tremendous open field tackle to negate any type of return there from the Raiders. So right now, Wright State not only looking at a 22-point deficit, but looking at a long field here as we approach the 12-minute mark here this final quarter.
Steady Chad Swanson, the quarterback, right there. Scrambles out of the pocket. Has time, flag on the play. Incomplete. No, that is complete. It is complete indeed. Troy Anderson has it short of the 50-yard line, and it's all academic because it's holding against Wright State.
Yeah, it's a tough break because we saw a nifty catch here on the sideline there, but it's going to be all negated as that will take the ball. I believe that's going to be half the distance to the goal. We'll see where they spot it. It'll be spotted on the 17-yard line.
And this is a really precarious situation for Wright State because Toledo's at a point now in the game where they can start gambling. They can start committing. They can sell out on these plays.
And this offense by Wright State is really not a high-octane offense designed to come from behind. You know, last year, Wright State averaged just 7.3 points a game, but their defense, as we mentioned, other than to Ohio State and a couple of the big boys, their defense was holding teams to 2 touchdowns or less. I think that was a big reason why they were ranked number 15 coming in, because of their defense. But their offense has just really not been up to par here. Trying to figure out the Rockets here tonight.
Swanson leading traffic. Incomplete and an interception right down the sideline. In no time flat, DJ Ornleff, his third interception of the game.
Yeah, he's got the hat trick here tonight, and who else but DJ Ornleff. You know, that time Swanson extended the play as long as he could. You're going to see it right here. I think this may go off one of his receivers' hands, but again, DJ Ornleff has just been lights out tonight in the secondary. This is a club football record, 3 picks in one game. It was off the hands there, but look at the nice return. He's got the wall set up down the sideline, and he goes untouched. And wow, what a turn of events here. The Rocket defense is able to put points on the board. There you see it. The belt one more time here.
He's going to get it as a permanent fixture. How long was that interception? About 30 yards?
I think that was 45 yards.
Okay, sorry about that.
By my estimation. And again, that's an estimate.
It is now 39-11. Point after. On the way from Miranda. Motter will put it down. The snap, the kick. And it is good. 40-11. 11:33 to play fourth quarter. The Rockets continue to roll. This is Toledo Rocket Club football on BCSN.
It's time.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Hey, I'm Elizabeth, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the collab of flavors. The sweet honey, the pickled jalapeno peppers, and the creamy pimento cheese. It is a perfect bite.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the richness of the pimento cheese. When I took a first bite, I was like, go, go, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go chicken, go, go, go get it.
Before ran out of bounds after a sizable return.
Pittman on the return, well into Rocket territory.
Yeah, nice return there by Carl Pittman. He's the guy that has the Wright State touchdown tonight, but a nifty return by the sophomore out of Crown Point, Indiana. I believe he went to Lake Central High School. They've had some good football tournament success there at Lake Central, but a nice return to the 47-yard line. Excellent starting position here for Wright State, but after that pick six by Ornleff, right now a monster of a hole to climb out of as the Raiders trail by 29 here.
That return was so fast. Ornleff had freaky fast speed.
Well, his eyes lit up. You know, once he picked that, he saw an opening down that sideline, and officially that went down as a 42-yard interception return.
Swanson throws it away.
That's a good job there by Swanson, just grounding the football. He felt the rush coming, was trying to scramble the edge, and before he takes the sack, he gets rid of the football.
He's just a steady, solid, smart quarterback, and you can't overestimate that.
But you love those guys that are going to go home with 30 uniforms, and you can tell he's one of those guys, you know, that when he laces them up, not just the sweat and the dirt and the turf on there, but you know, sometimes a little bit more. But again, he's just just a competitor out there you can see. He's really made a difference for this offense here in the second half.
Just waits for something to develop. Flush out of the pocket, straight ahead. Will keep it himself on the run, across the body, complete to the 45-yard line. Troy Anderson receiving it. It's going to be 2 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, Swanson had to work hard that time to elude the rush. Watch it right here. Again, great pressure there. 4-3 defense by the Rockets, something they've done most of the night. There he steps up nicely, knows where the line of scrimmage is, and look at that nice flick there with the left hand. And Anderson hauls it in for a pickup of 8 yards. So 3rd and 2 coming up here for Wright State.
What's the old saying? Big enough to hunt bear with a switch? That's Chad Swanson. So Swanson in the shotgun has a setback off to his side. 2 receivers to the right and to the left. Coming up, firing, incomplete. And we have a new quarterback in. That is Grazi.
Yeah, Grazi took a shot that time just as he unleashed the football. He took a hit. But the 6-foot sophomore, a little bit slow getting up on this one. Watch it right here. There's nothing fancy, quick 3-step drop, but tremendous pressure that time by number 55 there of the Rockets. There you see him on your screen. Again, excellent pressure here by Toledo as we're going to have a timeout.
Matthew Holt, the stop. We take the timeout. 10-17 to play in the fourth quarter. Toledo on top, 40-11 on BCSN.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
High school seniors, it's your time to shine as the next BCSN Scholar Spotlight. You can win a $10,000 scholarship for your college education. The BCSN Scholarship is open to all high school seniors in the Buckeye Broadband viewing area. Don't wait, apply today. You've earned it. Visit bcsnnation.com/scholarship for more information. Siena Heights University is dedicated to helping students continue their education through the BCSN Scholar Spotlight program.
Welcome back. And Chad Swanson is back in the game after a short cameo by Grazi. And Scoop, it begs the question, we're talking off microphone about players of the game. And I would have to say, I can't think of any other player in the league, just saying, than DJ Ornloff being player of the week defensively. Who's going to have 3 interceptions?
Boy, he certainly has his name in the hat for the nation's top club football defensive player. When you get 3 interceptions, you take 1 back to the house. You certainly probably are on a short list.
And another interception for Toledo. Streaking to the sideline and heading out. And the Rockets will get it back. DeAndre Cartledge.
Yeah, great job by Cartledge. And again, he's a guy that's blessed with quick wheels back there. Does a great job of reading the football. Makes a break on it. And there he takes to the edge there. Picks up a nice block there, I believe, from Evan Leach. And he takes that all the way back.
Scoop, I'm not one to spread rumors or start things, but I can tell you with 100% certainty that after the first interception by Ornloff, Tom Duncan did go over and talk to him. I'm not saying that there's anything connection, but, you know, maybe that headhunter thing is rubbing off on him.
Yeah, there's a reason they moved Tom Duncan to safety his senior season and was named first team All-MAC. And remember, Duncan, another one of those guys that multi-dimensional. He kicked his senior year as well, I believe, and also maybe did some punting duties.
He had the extra point that put Toledo over Miami that kept the streak alive. Miami was up 13-7 late.
That was one of the few times the streak was ever in doubt. Actually, that team was awfully impressive. And again, his junior and senior year ranked in the nation.
15-yard pickup. Pass from Ramish to Nokowski.
Well, this is nice to see. Toledo getting a lot of guys some reps here tonight, and there you see the quick out pass and a nice catch and run there from Mohammed Nazir there. That's going to be a first down here for Toledo.
Back to pass again, a little screen. Down the sideline and stepping out. So the first verse same, second verse same as the first, and a little extracurricular after is we get some fist swinging on the sideline.
Yeah, when you're this physical for this long, things, it's a matter of time for it gets a little chippy down here. But again, nice executed that wide screen one more time. And a great job there by Mohammed Nazir. He's able to take it out near the 35-yard line before being knocked out of bounds.
It looked like there may have been some contact with his face mask that twisted his helmet around. That's kind of what I thought on the and you know what? If somebody grabs you like that, not that I'm saying you get physical, but I can understand it at least. It's kind of more of a get off me type thing. And that good for a first down, of course. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. All kinds of new faces and new numbers for the Rockets. Going to do our best to keep up with them. 8:57. Back to pass, going for broke. Inside the 5. And it is no good, incomplete. Jackson Wright.
Now that time Jackson Wright was in traffic, but watch here, a great thrown ball here by number 20. You're going to see it. This ball goes a long way and right in the right spot there, but again, just couldn't corral. I think he heard some footsteps late there. But boy, that would have been a big one right there.
Wright State takes the timeout. We will take the timeout as well. 40-11. Toledo on top on BCSN.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Loving father and husband. He was a tow truck driver who was killed on the side of a highway by a distracted semi-truck driver. His wife and daughters were devastated. They were dealing with the sudden loss of their loved one while being pressured by insurance companies to settle. We went to work immediately to take care of all legal issues to allow them to focus on rebuilding their lives. They needed an experienced legal team that handles these complex cases.
We're attorneys with Gallon, Tackus, and Boysenall.
Call us. We can help.
We welcome you back. Throwing deep into Wright State territory. Incomplete. Merced Diaz. It looked like there was a flag down there, but it looked like they picked it up. Or am I seeing things, Scoop?
No, that time Diaz there was going across the middle, and new quarterback Rakan Ramesh threw one right down to him. It just kind of got deflected there at the end, but going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 here for Toledo. as they continue to go upstairs.
Ramish comes up firing for sure. That one a screen pass. Nakahowitz plunges ahead, and he takes the role of a lineman blocking his way, steamrolling to the 29. They're going to put him at the 30. But he was not afraid to lay the wood.
A nice job right here. You're going to see the nice cutback there from Dabbs. And that's going to be a nice pickup. Going to make it 4th down and 2.
You know, they talk about defensive players laying the wood. You know, that's something that Tom Duncan would have done, but you don't see receivers laying the wood very often.
And right now, the Rockets trying to convert on 4th down. They've done that a couple times here tonight.
High snap, Ramish. It gives it off to Byers.
First down run for Rockets.
Yeah, great conversion one more time. As Byers is able to get more than enough for the first down. There is Laundry on the field as things continue to be chippy down there.
.8:19, fourth quarter action here. Toledo on top, dominating 40-11.
Well, Dean, we talked about it, how the fact that Wright State traveled 24 guys here. A lot of these guys are playing both sides of football, so you just wondered when that conditioning was really going to take its toll. You can see this team is giving a lot of effort, has played a lot of heart, but they're also kind of running on fumes right now. And the Rockets, with their 45-man plus roster, boy, these guys look awfully fresh out there. They'll have a 1st and goal now. Ball just outside the 5-yard line of Wright State.
Some short fuses as well as the exhaustion starting to set in as Wright State runs out of gas. Another pass complete. That is going to be stopped at the 6-yard line. Getting to Nukahowski.
They'll watch it right here. This one just across the flats there, kind of runs a drag across the backfield. But a nice open field tackle that time by Jaylee Griffith. And that's going to be a tackle for loss. So 2nd down and goal. Now the ball spotted about the 7-yard line here for Toledo as Ramish is back to take the snap here out of the gun.
The give to Byers. He will get it near, I was going to say got it near the 2, but second after it pushes him really close to the goal line.
Yeah, great job by Reggie Byers. You could tell he was sniffing that goal line right there. Watch it here in the replay. He just kind of puts his head down. He sees that goal line, does all he can to reach the ball out. Then it kind of pops out. He's able to snare it back in. There you see the official spot it down. 3rd down and goal. Ball inside the 1-yard line here for Toledo.
That ball took quite a high bounce. It was at least 3 feet in the air. And fortunately for Toledo, they got it right. A credit card length or width from the goal line. Do you give it to Byers again? Byers, kind of a direct snap, and he gets stopped. They knew Byers was coming and pushes him back at least a yard.
Yeah, that little nifty little play there. Ramish that time pretended he was going to get a high snap, took a couple steps backwards, and meanwhile Byers reaches up, is able to snare that. But he will be short of the goal line, so 4th down coming up here from the Raider 2-yard line. And right now we do have Byers as a single setback.
Ramish into the end zone. Did he? No signal. Incomplete. And how about this? Wright State in the unenviable position of the football, perilously close to the end zone.
Yeah, great defensive stand that time by the Raiders. That time Toledo had their chances. That ball just off the grass there, but great coverage again by Wright State. and they will take over as we hit the 6-minute mark here this fourth quarter. It's been all Toledo here in the second half.
Clock stopped at 6 minutes. Wright State has it at the 2-yard line. I'll tell you what, Wright State's defense has shown moments of brilliance.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in a lot of games this year. You know, they're looking to improve upon last year's 2-5 mark, where they were 2-4 in the Great Lakes East Conference. I think they have aspirations of upping that. And they have probably the heavy hitters out of the way right now. The fact they opened up with Ohio State. And, of course, tonight here they're playing Toledo in just their second game of the season.
Swanson from his own end zone again. No urgency. Now he comes up firing, incomplete. And Scoop, as you saw on that play right there, he literally was in the grass. I mean, I'm not saying that technically in terms of a play, but he literally had arms on him as he finally decides, okay, I better get going.
Well, look at the great footwork there, number 16 there, the Rockets. Just an excellent job there of reading the eyes of the quarterback and seeing the receiver. Again, a good breakup there as Swanson forced to throw the football there out of his own end zone.
That was Zeke Burkholder, by the way, number 16. You know, and again, this Rocket team has so much depth.
Well, and that's huge. You know, we talked about the fact that, Wright State, they have a few more than 24 on the team, but, a lot of times in club football, you don't get that full travel roster, so to speak. That should be a luxury here for Toledo. The Wright State has to be wondering. This is the third straight year that the Raiders have played at the Glass Bowl. I don't think they're arguing about it either. I think they love the fact they get to play in such a historic stadium here like the Glass Bowl. In fact, talking to their coaching staff ahead of time, there you see their offensive coordinator, Chase Mansell. They were all excited. They kind of embraced it coming up here to the Glass Bowl. They don't worry about the scheduling. They're willing to go wherever the league takes them. Third straight year is taking them to the Glass City here and the Glass Bowl, where, again, Wright State is only one of two teams to knock off Toledo here at the Glass Bowl in club football history. The other team to do it was the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes just a season ago.
Swanson comes up firing, incomplete. And Mensa down there just to remind him that if you did catch it.
Well, I like the coverage. That they understand where that first down marker is, so they are letting the underneath routes go. At this time, you're right, Dean. If he does haul that in, he's probably going to be a yard short of that first down marker. Now, you would think they're going to bring Galvin on here for the punt. Remember, he does have a good leg.
He does have some room to work with, too, in the end zone. That one will roll and roll and roll and roll. And that's 51-yarder.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 48. I think, unfortunately, a Wright State player touched it. Looks like that was going to go maybe another 5 yards, but he touched it. But again, a nice punt. It nets over 45 yards. So once again, Galvin comes in, makes a nice special teams play for Wright State.
4:43 remaining. Again, a great chance for this Rocket team to show what they've got on the bench. And again, very skilled. And we're seeing for the first time in offense, DJ Ornliff coming out as a receiver. Also, first time that we've called an offensive play for, well, actually first time since the first half for Jordan Lyons. And we get a timeout call. We'll take the timeout as well. UT on top, 40-11. 4:43 remaining in the fourth quarter. This is...
Student Section of the Week is brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board of Lucas County. Join us live from the Owens Community College Media Center every Friday during Game Day Nation.
40 of students received the Pell Grant. In our area, the majority of Toledo Public School students are eligible.
So I was fortunate enough that I qualified for the Pell Grant, and I got the full amount for the Pell Grant. If I hadn't filled out the FAFSA, I would have never known that that was even a possibility.
I think the thing that we want students to know the most is that there is resources out there for them and that there is a way to help them. There's so many other options and so many people that are here that want to help you and support you.
Big pickup on first down. Welcome back to the Glass Bowl. Dean Jackson along with Scoop Miller here on BCSN. A pickup of 16 yards on the scramble from Byers. He gets to the sideline.
Yeah, Byers is really racking up some yards tonight. That certainly has to be a plus here tonight for Coach Jamie Young to see that young man run as hard as he has. And there's going to be another nice run to the right side edge. And that's going to be another first down here for Toledo.
Flag down there as well as Ramish threads the needle, splits between several defenders. It'll push it back.
That time Ramish showing a little bit of wheels there, using those long strides there to get to the edge. But there you see the hold. And that'll move the ball backwards all the way out to about the 35-yard line. So first down coming up again. This time be a first down, and we'll call it 13 yards here.
Mensa to the near side. Byers in the backfield off of Ramish. Ramish will follow the blocks to the near side, has an opening, cuts to the inside, goes to the outside, almost the same type of play, down to the 32.
Yeah, nice job there by Ramish. That time you're going to see more or less the Wildcat here. They've got an extra blocker. The fact the quarterback's keeping the football, picks up some nice blocks. He's able to take the ball just shy of that first down marker. They're going to spot it on the 22. They will give him the first down, so nice run there by Ramish. And now Toledo just outside the red zone here as we're under the 3.5-minute mark of this contest.
Lions on the far side lined up right on top of the MAC logo. Byers flanking Ramish up the gut, cuts ahead. He's still on his feet, goes in for the score. A 22-yarder, and it's now 46-11.
Well, we told you in that last drive how Byers was really smelling that end zone, and he sees it right here, and there's going to be no denying him this time. He just kind of turns on the jets and makes a couple guys miss. An impressive run there by Reggie Byers. And Toledo now with 46 points on the board, looking to tack on one more here with the point after.
Miranda will take the snap. Motter to put it down. 3:08 on the clock, up, and it is. It is good. We take the timeout. Toledo 47-11 over Wright State. This is Toledo Rockets Club football on BCSN.
Talking to myself, which means some forms of mental illness actually pay off. You say that like it's a bad thing. Silence! Stop it! Oh, shut the hell up.
April 11th, Huntington Center.
Am I in the Twilight Zone? What's happening here?
Enter to win a pair of tickets to see this show live at BuckeyeContest.com.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Check out our lighting showroom and update your home with the latest trendy styles and finishes. Patriot Lighting provides a large selection of finishes and designs, so you're sure to find a style at a price that's right for you. With more than 140 stock lights priced under $50. The Torian Outdoor Wall Light is $11.97 after rebate. Visit our lighting showroom or check out all our lighting options on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to the Glass Bowl. Final 2:45 and counting down. And this should go quickly with a running clock.
Jeffrey on return, brought down by number 3.
Brought down to the 33-yard line.
Well, you have to love it when you can't tell what the score is by looking down there in the field. You know, this is a 36-point game with 2 minutes to go. These guys are playing like the game's on the line. So that part you have to love. These guys getting out there, some of these guys maybe for the first series of the season, and trying to show the coaches what they can do. Right now, this is going to end up being an impressive win here by Toledo. This was one of those games where, it's kind of you just don't know. Wright State, only one game under their belt coming in. Meanwhile, Toledo had not played a game. Both teams known for their defenses, but it's been the Toledo offense that's really stepped up here tonight.
Toledo got things started, scrambling or rumbling through the secondary. A lot of work to get that gain. But for Toledo, it's kind of like that old vehicle on a winter day, slow to get started. But they got it. That was Joshua Randall, by the way, number 11.
Yeah, and credit to Toledo. I thought they made some great adjustments at halftime, really on both sides of the football. And, they had a couple hiccups there when Wright State went with Chad Swanson, quarterback. But I thought the Rockets made some good adjustments to that. And really, the Toledo defense, they got that pick six and did so many things. They forced a couple 3-and-outs. They also got some good special teams play as well that's kind of dictated field position here tonight.
Getting it to the 42-yard line again, a carry by Joshua Randall. We come to the final 30 seconds here, Scoop. Obviously impressed by the passing game from Toledo. When it came strong. But the new wrinkle with the running game of Byers makes Toledo really, really interesting. And, of course, the defense.
I think that running game could make this Rocket team really dangerous. I think everybody, it's no secret, Brandon Motter is going to be a solid quarterback for this unit. With his frame, his athleticism, with his experience, I think that's going to be a bonus to have a guy like him taking snaps. But when you can throw in that running game and be multi-dimensional, boy, that's really going to put some stress on a lot of defenses coming into the Glass Bowl this season. So, this has been an impressive win for Toledo. Again, Wright State, one of only 2 teams to knock off the Rockets here in Toledo. And Toledo making no doubt here as they're up 36 points. Time enough for maybe 1 or 2 more plays here by the Raiders.
Next week it'll be Columbus State and Toledo, the number 7 team currently in the rankings in Columbus State from Georgia. Toledo will host them here, and it'll be a good one, as these games tend to be. Flushed out of the pocket, Swanson, flag on the play. That one is complete to Anderson. Steps out of bounds with 12 seconds left on the clock.
That was going to come back. That was one of those obvious holding situations, and with the running clock, that will most likely be the last play of the game here, as Toledo is going to get out of here with an impressive win here tonight over Wright State University. And there you see some great sportsmanship out there being displayed there by Carter Mansell.
It is a final. Toledo 47, Wright State 11. Rockets back in action next Sunday night, getting started at 7 o'clock. Tailgate getting started at 5:30 next week. You got the pizza, you got the food truck from Big O. It's just so much fun here. If you have not witnessed club football in person, and I'm not trying to be a pitch man for the team, but you really should come and check it out. It's great fun.
You really should. Great atmosphere. It's gotten better each and every year of club football here at the University of Toledo, who's been great hosts. And again, I'm already looking forward to next Sunday night here as number 7 ranked Columbus State comes into town to take on the number 6 Toledo Rockets.
Well, Scoop, that'll do it from here. The Rockets improved to 3-0 in the season. Unofficially, the third game of the season, but if you really want to call it officially, I think you could. So they pick up their first official win of the season with a 47-11 impressive victory. Defense, 3 interceptions from DJ Ornlett. All kinds of offense. You had Merced Diaz with 2 touchdown passes. You had great defensive stops. You had the run game from Reggie Byers. Wow, Toledo really has a lot of things going once they got on track.
Yeah, so many different contributions. The coaching staff certainly going to be pleased. They're not going to be satisfied. Certainly areas they can clean up. But when you get that type of performance from so many different guys, that really epitomizes what team win is all about.
A great night for football here from the Glass Bowl. One last time, it is Toledo 47, Wright State 11. For my partner, Scoop Miller, I'm Dean Jackson, reminding you and hoping that no matter where you are in your journey, that your road always leads you home. So long, everybody.